So who's gonna start the topic? I think you guys should start the topic right now because the energy over there, like,
no, I got a randomizer.
Oh, you do?
Get out of here.
Oh shit!
No.
Okay.
What is it? What does it look like?
What the fuck?
This sounds like, what does it look like?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what do we choose?
What
The color or
am
our names in there
No.
already?
It's me. Everybody's name already in there.
Look how it works. You see how
Look
it
how it
works?
works.
You see how it works? You see how it works? I knew the energy was over there. I told you I'm in tune. I'm in tune.
Yes.
So, what's your topic for the week, Beans?
Why are you doing that?
So fucking extra, dog. Come on.
My lips was dry.
My topic for the week is what are some things that you're unwilling to do for your partner, if there are any?
Oh, okay. All right.
Unwilling to do for
What you're
your partner.
unwilling to do?
So who do you want to shoot this off first?
Who would you like to
Aaron?
start?
I'm going back to the randomizer.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right.
The randomizer really picks everything, because if a guy goes on your side, then the girl got to go next over
Yeah,
here.
on the opposite side
So
like that.
the first one picks
exactly.
everybody.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
Amber goes first, then it'll be on Bean, then it'll be on me. Then it'll be
Just so you guys know your colors, if you can't read the words. Drew, you're yellow. Amber, you're red. You're green. I'm blue.
Why couldn't it be blue?
Amber.
Oh, it's on Amber.
It's on
Amber.
Oh, so for me, a couple of things that I would not sacrifice. There are very little things. I feel like I would definitely, go round for Drew. But one thing I would never sacrifice is just my free thought, my individuality, my faith. I feel like that's something that I would not compromise. When it boils down to me and the soul of me, if it were ever something like you felt like you wanted to change about me, then you're not accepting me fully for who I am. So I always would want to feel comfortable just fully expressing myself, even if it doesn't get the best response. I would want you to be able to just understand. And sometimes sometimes we will have to agree to disagree. Because for my personality type, I can be very headstrong and I can be really stubborn. And sometimes when we do have disagreements, and I may not see eye to eye to Drew, my initial reaction is very emotional. So a lot of the time I have to really take some time to really think about it and kind of revisit it later, and kind of share what my thoughts are with Drew after everything has kind of died down. I remember even in the very beginning of our relationship, before I was even able to settle a disagreement, I would just shut down.
Hated that.
I would just shut down.
That.
I didn't have the space to really sit through and talk anything through, because my temper was so bad. Like, I was still working through my temper when we first started dating, and being able to kind of just kind of brace myself and really think about stuff before I react. So instead of reacting, I would just shut down completely, and there would be absolutely no reaction. And it would be a while before we would even come to some sort of resolve.
So your thing is, if you feel like you can't speak your mind?
If I can't speak my mind, and in the beginning it was kind of like fear, I was kind of hesitant on that, because I wasn't sure how you would take it. But now that we've grown together, I feel like that's something I embrace more, being able to kind of speak what I'm really feeling in that moment, try to come to some sort of resolve to the argument or whatever it may be. It may be something petty, but that's something that I really hold on to, is my voice. Because for me, I've always been kind of like, I hated confrontation. I don't really voice up anymore, but since being in this relationship, what I've learned a lot from you, and I feel like it's kind of rubbed off on me, is being able to really express myself. Cool. So that's something I would never sacrifice. I would never give up in my faith. But other than that, I feel like if it's reasonable, I would do it for him.
So if I said stop eating pork, you would stop eating pork?
I don't mind not eating pork. It's not good for you anyway, so. I don't eat much pork now, to be real. I don't eat much pork, so it would be nothing for me to stop eating pork.
That's perfect. And nothing I would tell you to do to be like, all right, boom, don't do that.
Good. I'm glad you know
I don't
that.
think so. Not yet.
Good, you know better.
No, goodness.
That's on Beans now.
I can't really think of anything that, like, I wouldn't do. I mean, obviously, like, shit that just doesn't, like, make sense.
If you to kill somebody, would you
Yeah, like, shit like, depending.
You would do it?
You wouldn't?
It depends.
Oh, it depends.
Not just like, not just like, you know, not just for like no
Random
reason
shit,
on some
yeah.
shit.
Not
Yeah.
like if she point a nigga out in the street and say kill him.
No,
Reason,
I'm
though.
Because
not
you
doing
always
that.
got it on you.
You know,
You
Beans
know-
always got
you
it
know-
on, though.
You know,
I'm
I'm not walking to the
Beans-
mailbox without it. So
Oh god.
You know, Beans always got grocery store or not, though.
yeah, if I see that security is like it's going in there too.
No.
But yeah, what's your answer?
But yeah, no, I can't really think of any like I said, like unless it's just like something that's like really crazy, I can't really think of anything that I just like wouldn't do. I'm.
What if she said?
I don't know.
What if Bree was like, oh, I don't like you doing this entrepreneur life. Can you just go get a job? And that's something you strongly
Depends.
believe in. How
It depends on the situation.
It depends.
If
on
I-
what do you mean?
If I had like a kid, if we had like kids or some shit, and it's just like, all right, nigga, I'm pulling all the weight. I'm like, all right.
I'm saying
you
no
gotta-
kid. If she
Oh,
said
no,
like,
I'm
right
not
now, she's
doing that.
like, yo, that's okay. And you're not doing that because of what?
Because I'm not about to be miserable for just because
Gotcha.
working a job.
So,
is,
So
makes
like you
me
won't
miserable.
sacrifice your happiness
Yeah,
for
Mm,
okay.
Honestly, it depends. I think it depends on what it is. Honestly, because there's a lot of shit that like that can make you happy that not necessarily like good for you or good for your relationship. So that's why I can't necessarily say that either. Like for instance, like say I were to like keep getting into like motorcycle accidents or something, and somebody was just like, oh, like you know, you should really consider like not doing that. Like you know what I'm saying? Or some people were just like really on me to like not do it. Maybe I would like probably not now, but I would consider like letting it go, and that shit makes me happy. So I can't necessarily say like my
Has
happiness.
anyone, because you've gotten in a couple accidents, has anyone ever told you like, don't get on the bike again?
Of course,
Your mom.
my mom.
But he got in car accidents too. The nigga
I wanna say. So, hey.
No, but
anything
cars-
with wheels
Anything
on
that
it,
moves,
Cars
anything that
one
moves,
thing,
I'll crash
cars one
that shit.
Bike is another. Bike is like,
Yeah.
You know,
you're
we don't
very
crash
vulnerable
bikes,
on a
cars.
I've crashed
buses,
a school bus.
everything.
So his mama told him not to get on the
Crashed
bike
the
anymore,
school
and guess what he did? He got another bike.
Got another bike and kept getting them. And then did more than 30 in the neighborhood like she told you to.
Of
You
course.
did 50.
Yeah, so I guess, like I said, I guess it really all depends. Like
Wait.
in general,
depends.
it all depends. But in general, I think no. There's not like much I wouldn't do.
Okay.
And I think anybody that like really knows me kind of like could like vouch for that. There's not like much I'm gonna just
I
be
know,
like nah to.
I know. I think I know you, but I wouldn't vouch for that 100%.
But nigga, you ain't never
I feel
asked me
like
for
there's
nothing or
certain-
asked me to do some shit.
No,
There's-
I'm not talking about from my standpoint. I wouldn't, because I'm talking about like I feel from what I know of Beans. I feel like there's certain things that if somebody, even Bree, and y'all being in love, I feel like there's some things that if she told you to do that you wouldn't even do.
Like what?
For one, the entrepreneur thing.
Okay,
For
all right.
two, if
I do that.
she was like, oh, come to church every Sunday, I feel like you wouldn't do that.
I might go once.
That's what I'm saying.
I ain't go every Sunday.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
I
he
go
wouldn't
every
do
Sunday.
that.
So I guess, like I said, I'm
Yeah,
sure there are things I just couldn't really think of any at the time. Like,
Yeah, I could think of some.
all right, well, throw out some more examples, and I'll
Huh?
confirm more. I said throw out more examples, and I'll
Okay,
confirm
for
or
one,
deny.
if she told you get a job right now, a 9 to 5, you wouldn't do it.
Nope.
If she told you come to church every Sunday and I need you to read the Bible study Wednesdays, you're not
You
doing
can't force your religion on
Oh,
somebody.
and but my
Okay, I'm just naming specifically
Okay.
things because Bean's saying there's nothing.
no, I'm
trying
not
to
saying
tell
there's
him-
anything. I'm just saying like generally like that I can like think of or like things that are like I guess religion could be important to somebody. and
Yeah, I
shit,
think he's
but
not
I don't
really
know.
thinking on it. Like you got to think, there's a lot of things in
What
your
else? I
life.
want to hear the other ones
If she is like, those are really the only two that I can really think of.
that he wouldn't.
So that's
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying.
think
So in
anything-
general, there's not
Yeah.
I
that
think
much
everything
shit.
is kind of like
Most things
based off of situation.
I will do it.
Yeah, most things Beans was. Yeah, Beans. Yeah, I can
Most
say.
things I'm gonna do. Like, all right, certain shit is just like, all right, yeah, I'm not doing that. But like for the most part, there's not really anything I wouldn't do. Do you have that? Sound like you got something you want to say?
Uh-oh.
What you got to say?
No, I'm just
Bree.
no, nothing to say.
No.
It's not my turn to respond.
Yes, I'm asking you a question, so it is your turn. I'm giving you the floor.
Yeah, she has the floor.
The was just for me, like getting to know you and understanding you. Like you say that now, but I think when a situation may present itself, that may not be the case.
So what are the examples?
I can't think of like a concrete example.
So you can't say that.
I can because you're just as stubborn.
You can't say that.
You're just as stubborn and headstrong when it comes to certain things.
But I've always put other people before myself.
Can I finish?
Yeah,
so if it's something about
let her
you,
talk, Beans. You gave her the floor, Beans. You gave her the floor.
So
you did.
there are like parts of you that are just like very like stubborn and like headstrong, and you will stick to your guns when it comes to certain things, and you won't budge. I can't say like what that scenario may be right now, but I know that about you, and no, you would just be like, I'm not doing it at all.
But yeah, there are certain things. There are certain things, but I'm talking about like when it comes to like, I asked about your partner. So when it comes to you, I'm asking you, what would I not do? I'm not talking about just random situations that may come up in life. I'm asking you about right now.
No, I'm just saying like situations that may involve me may come up, and I feel as though you would just
can't
be
think
like,
of any.
Nah.
Out of those two that he just said, literally outside of that, I really can't think of any. Mm-hmm. Like I couldn't even think of those two. But like outside of that, nothing.
I don't know. I think anything that would compromise like the essence of you, you would say no. And like
shit,
the reason
that's the essence of me, entrepreneur, and I ain't fucking with religion. Other than that,
yeah,
I'm
but
cool.
I mean that's what I mean by like you would say no. I just can't even think of like a scenario off the top of my head. And the reason
you can't say that then. If you just don't
not
a single example.
But the reason I say that is because we're very similar in the same that we are very stubborn, we're very headstrong, like we stick to our guns, like how I feel is how I feel, how you feel is how you feel.
Similar is not the same though.
There are going to be times where you're literally going to just say no.
I'll wait for an example though. I got all the time in the world. I'll wait.
Okay.
So what's on the...
It's on me. All right.
Okay.
When it comes to my relationship with Ann Breezy, ain't nothing I won't do. I don't think it's not one thing that I won't do. If she ever suggests something, I'll probably be like, try to compromise and say, okay, do you really think we have to rob this bank? Like, is that the best thing? And if she's like, yes, I'm feeling this in my stomach, we gotta rob this bank, I think I ride for it. I don't think there's nothing. It's nothing. There's literally nothing that I could think, that if Amber's like, okay, bye. Except maybe I might just like fight her more on certain things, but if she's like super duper stern on something, I think for the most part it would be like I would ride with it. I can't think of nothing. If that makes sense.
You can be stubborn, but if you feel like you trust my judgment,
it's
something logical and reasonable.
Logical, yeah, because if it's something, and there's never been a time where you just might say something unlogical, and I'm just like if it's just, it's not gonna be the blind leading the blind. Like I ain't just gonna do no stupid shit, but. The most of the time, like if it's
logical and we can get away with it, and I suggest it, trust I already have a way we can get away with it. Yeah,
and we'll come to a compromise. I can't say, but I know
y'all niggas scamming.
She wouldn't even. I don't know.
Huh? Y'all niggas scamming on the side. That promotion really meant something else, huh? Mm-hmm. That's not a promotion that
the money coming into the house, another source.
That was something else. Next week. Next time I come to Dallas, they're gonna be in a big ass mansion, and I'm like, oh, this what happened.
Exactly. It's gonna be a Picasso in the background and shit, a real Basquiat instead of a book. But yeah, I don't think it's nothing, man. I'm on go type of guy. When it comes to Amber, my mom, my sister, my brother,
his friends,
my cousins, my friends,
yeah,
Beans, no, Stefan, no. Like I'm just I don't know. My loyalty and of course being in a relationship prior to loyalty, I might have stepped out of the relationship, but when my loyalty goes, like it's like I'm a ride or die type of person. Like wrong or right. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's nothing that I won't do. Basically,
there's nothing I would ask. Like, I feel like I wouldn't. Wait. You
went already, didn't you?
Yeah, I already went.
Okay, I had to double check and make sure. I forgot what you said.
I said that I would basically do anything as long as you're not changing me at my core.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot your response. I've been drinking too much of this Shutter Home. All right, so yeah, that's my answer. I'm on go. Mm-hmm. It's nothing. Yeah, I'm a rock out. If this is anything that's logical. Now, if you say, "Oh, Andrew, don't go outside and walk on 2 feet," that doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna do that. But anything logical.
You go outside on your hands doing handstands.
I'll ride out with it. I'll ride out with it regardless.
I think
Bree?
I am similar in the same like regards as Amber. Anything that I feel as though can alter like the essence of me or make me go against my own like moral compass, I think I'd just be like, no. I don't think that there are many things where I can just be like, okay, you're trying to change who I am or change how I like see the world and it's detrimental to me. Yeah, I don't think I would say no. I think I may...
What are some examples of those type of things, if you don't mind me asking?
I think just like trying to alter my like values as far as like family and how like I may put family on like a pedestal and things like that. But
so like if he was to say, oh, you don't have to go to this person's birthday because you went to the birthday last year, you would say, oh no, like that's a dub. I can go to the birthday type thing.
Yeah, like that's fine. I like birthday parties. My birthday's coming up too, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, birthday's coming up. Y'all better have our backdrop ready,
That's
our
funny.
tinsel and our balloons.
But I think because I won't say no, that I may still, I guess, like argue or debate with you just to have an understanding of something that I may not necessarily agree with or something that I may not see from your stance. And it's just like just understanding that me asking questions or me saying whatever is to seek either clarity or understanding or to have you understand my point of things, if that makes sense. But
So what happens when you don't get that?
what do you mean?
When you don't get that understanding, because everybody you're not always gonna see eye to eye, and you might not understand everything. What happens then?
I think when we don't see eye to eye or there's no understanding, I think that's something that we have to learn to work through as like a couple. Nothing is wrong with agreeing to disagree, but we have to learn how to healthily agree to disagree, and just
Cause y'all, how long have y'all been like dating exclusively? Y'all still
fresh.
I don't
Like,
even think
what,
I
5?
don't even think in the
6
beginning of the
months?
podcast we put
we
like
count the
how long we were together.
Almost 6 months.
the dates differently. I say 5, he says 6.
Okay.
Okay, that you talking about months, not
Months,
years, correct?
This nigga said
Of
years.
course, just so the viewers can understand. They're not.
Why
they
do
been
you
together 5
Why do you
years.
say 6?
I be counting them.
He
weird.
counts them very strange. So
She
like,
count at the end of them.
How does he
so
count when he
I
first
count.
went to
So
the
we
house?
started dating on the 17th of November. So I count we've been together for a month, the 17th
Okay.
of December. I see that as a month. He's like, oh well, no, that's the beginning of month 2. So we're going on for 2 months, and it's just like that's not how time laps. But okay. But that's how he sees it. So
See, so y'all are so that's also another beautiful thing is y'all at a total different even stage than we are.
Yeah.
Being 3 years and some months
In
into
August,
it.
it'll be 3 years in Dallas, and then for us together, we
Do you even
almost
remember?
4. I count
No, not
our first
almost
date.
4.
I count our first
And
date.
what was our first date?
December.
How you got the first date?
Yes, correct.
If that's the case, me and her been together
She
for
right.
way over a year and like 4 or 5 months at this point.
I mean, but our first, as Beans knows, our first date was like, after that, I was like, okay, yeah, this is what it is. Boom.
Wait,
It
how?
was
Wait,
like-
how
I don't
even
know that.
happen?
I don't know that.
that got to be a whole nother thing. We'll say that's more content
okay.
down the road when we talk about our first date.
Okay.
Yeah, our first thing. Because that could be a whole episode on first dates and
Yeah, that would be
how
funny.
y'all got together. That would be real funny.
Yeah.
But okay, so Bree, it's that so funny that Bree's thing is basically like the same thing as Amber's. Like y'all are
Yeah.
but y'all are both the same sign, so this isn't even fair, really. So of course y'all are gonna have the same thoughts on some shit of, oh, if y'all, cause y'all hate,
I would never
y'all hate
sacrifice my
being feel like
integrity.
y'all are being
Yeah,
controlled.
don't control me in my individuality.
Y'all-
But the
but
thing
it
is,
is-
I'm a
but
but here's my
rebel by
thing.
nature.
People don't
Here's
even
my-
be trying to
at all.
control.
And then my thing is this: I would never ask you to.
Ah
what the
shit!
fuck
Hold
even
on.
just happened?
Wait. I got a call coming through. Damn,
Hey, you need to put your phone on Do Not Disturb.
it's still gonna pop up. All right, yeah. What you saying, Beans?
My thing is that I would never ask you to do some shit that I wouldn't be willing to do myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not ever gonna control you. You always have a choice. Like, no matter what it is, you will always have a choice. I'm
But
never going to tell you, do not do this. I can tell you, oh, I don't like when you do this, or I don't want you to do this. But I'm never going to tell you, don't do it. You can do whatever
But
you
I
want
feel
to
like
do.
that comes off the same way to me.
No, it shouldn't. Because
Like,
I tell you all the time that I speak
like
with my
it.
words,
Don't
and
do it.
I'm never going to speak where I have to have you read in between the lines. I'm going to say exactly what I mean. I tell you this all the time, so it always leads to arguments for some reason. I don't know if you've never met anyone that does that or doesn't mean what they say. But I literally am telling you exactly what I mean. You will never have to guess with me what I mean, what I'm trying to say. I'm going to tell you exactly that.
Okay.
You always have a choice. Okay. Do whatever you want to do.
We gonna come back to this. We gonna come back to it.
We come back to this. We come back to this every day. And it's the same thing.
I would like to know, what toxic traits did you or your partner display when you were dating, and when and how did you figure that out? Whether it was your traits or their traits, like, what is something that drew red flags and was very toxic for you?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, who is it on? My color's
I
yellow.
have my glasses on. I can't see.
Fuck.
What is that? Blue,
No, it's not
red.
me. No,
It's on beans.
No, it's you.
It's yellow.
It went off, and it was yellow.
It's
It was
yellow.
you. I turned it back, and it was yellow.
Okay,
It was you.
okay. Okay, I'll speak on that.
Well, there it is. The proof.
Okay, boom, I see it. I say, I don't know, like I said, I can't really speak too much on past relationships, because when dating you and even dating other people, I don't even get into past relationships. But what you said?
I said, what is a toxic trait that you or your partner display in a previous
Okay,
relationship,
boom,
and how
perfect.
and when did you know it was toxic?
In a previous relationship?
Or current now?
Okay, boom. All right. So one of the things that I noticed about Amber that was very, very toxic, and I think not even just relationships, because when I look at stuff, I don't even look at it just as relationships. I look at it as in a life thing. Period. Was her communication skills sucked. Her communication skills were horrible. And me, if anybody who knows Drew, like, I'm a talker. I can talk. I love to talk. I love confrontation. Once it's done in a tasteful way and respectfully, I love
You like confrontation
I love-
anytime.
Yeah, you're right. It can be ugly
Oh
too.
my
You're right. It can be ugly confrontation too. I'm with that too. But I love confrontation. I love talking. I love talking. I love communication. So at the beginning, it was just like, I hated if we disagreed on something and she just stops talking. Like, to me, that's like, okay, like, no, you out of pocket now. Like, no, you can't do that. Like, I would get so frustrated when she do that. Like, I hate that. So my thing, and your second half of the question was, how did you deal with it? Mm-hmm. So, like I said, her communication was horrible. And me being a super communicator, it was like, what is this? But luckily, she ended up being with somebody who was super duper patient. And I say that's the only thing I really used. There was no type of tactic. It was no type of, oh my God, what do you do? I just had to literally be patient and understand that in a relationship, sometimes you got to lead by example almost. Like, you can't even push. I can't just say all the time, oh, Amber, your communication sucks. Your communication sucks. You need to work on communication. You need to learn how to talk. Because by doing that, then it's just going to make her even less.
Somebody been reading a book.
Less.
I said somebody's been reading a book. This sounds.
You know I've been
this sounds
reading
very
books.
familiar.
You know it. Being in a relationship, you read books. You look up YouTube videos. Nigga, I'm telling you this for a fact. So I had to understand the point. Okay, her communication skills aren't perfect, but Andrew, remember everything that you do love about her. So I was like, okay, boom. My communication skills are good. So guess what? Whenever we trying to communicate on some shit and she goes down to that low level of just being quiet or being super duper defensive, Andrew, you don't have to go there with her. And slowly but surely, we'll argue. She'll go real low, and I'll just stay right there. And then she'll go right there. Then we'll argue again. She'll go real low again. But then each time I know it's okay. She's slowly but surely understanding this communication thing. And as time goes on, like patience. I think a relationship is all about patience, bro. Like, with patience, you'll get over any type of obstacle that your relationship has. Love is mad simple when you really look at it. It's all about thinking outside of yourself and being patient. That's it. She's a human. Her communication skills aren't good. Okay, so what? I got a lot of shit that's not good about me. So what? We working on it, and all I can do is I can't be like on her back of her head, your communication sucks. I can't do that. She's gonna get it in her time. All I can do is be like, I remember times when we can, even still till this day, because the communication's still not good now. Don't get me twisted.
It's
but
not
even to this
great.
day, she talks crazy, and I'd be like, you know what? Sometimes I might go there with her, but for the majority of the time, I'd be like, I won't even go there with her. I'd just be like, okay. And slowly but surely, she understands it, and I know we'll level out soon.
He goes there, y'all.
But communication was my main thing. And the thing is, I feel any good relationship, and like speaking to your topic, like you said, is I don't know too much about her past relationships, but I put money, a lot of that probably could have been dealt with communication. But thank God communication wasn't there, because now I'm here, if that makes sense. So it's like that. So boom. Next.
The same as far as like I don't know too many details about his past relationships. I think as far as like committed relationships, we're kind of similar in the sense that we haven't had many. So I know of a few things.
How many have you had?
Like committed relationships? Like maybe
I don't even know that.
maybe 3. He said 2
Makes
as an
sense.
adult. I haven't had too many committed relationships, and he hasn't either. So we haven't really talked about past relationships, but I think as far as toxic traits, I would say the wavering like trust is kind of an issue, because there have been like experiences that has caused him to not trust, and I think he still has to like slowly rebuild trust in order to be completely like open and vulnerable. And I also think
what are some of the examples that you could say throughout y'all 6 or 5 months, whichever one you talk to, that you would say, okay, yeah, this guy has trust issues? Or did you notice that like more into the 6 months, or was it like early into the stage of the first month of dating? You're like, okay, yeah, I don't think his trust issues. I think he got trust issues.
I think it was one of those things where it was mentioned, but it was also like swept under the rug, and he didn't really make it seem as though, I guess, it was as big of a deal as it comes off to be now. But I also don't know if it's one of those things that he didn't know it was as serious as it was, because like he didn't like really like see himself and deal with it. So I don't know. I'm trying to think as far as like the whole
I can see
you want
that.
me
the
to, like,
whole
respond to
talking about,
do you want me? Never mind.
I was about to say, like, I think he is like still fuming about the fact that I don't mind having a conversation with my ex and that just be a conversation. I think
You brought it up,
the
so
fact
I can talk about it
that
now.
the fact that he's saying like, I don't like it, you shouldn't do it, and I'm just trying to understand, why don't you like it, so I have more of a basis to be like, okay, cool, I understand why you said no, I'm not going to do it. Versus like, I'm still saying like, I'm not going to continue to communicate with my ex if this really trying to cause like this big.
First of all, you've never said that until just this moment. You have never.
But I don't have to communicate that. I don't have to communicate that to you because you've been walking around sulking for the last 48 hours.
I wasn't sulking. I was upset.
Y'all saw him earlier. He's been.
That's not sulking.
Aaron,
I don't have to sit here and say to you, okay, I'm not going to communicate with my ex.
Why wouldn't you? If you know that's a problem,
when you literally have made it into this big thing. So it's just like, okay, cool, whatever. But you also haven't made it make sense. Why does that bother you to this extent? When I'm literally telling you, it's like, oh, hey, how are you? Like, you have no issue if they were to hit me up and I have a conversation with them. Sure, but you have a problem with me hitting them up and still continuing a conversation. It doesn't make sense.
First of all, I'll add it to this.
It makes sense.
No, I want to hear Aaron's reason. Why.
First of all, my own personal experiences. That's one.
I think that's big. That is more of a contributing factor than what you make it seem.
No, I'm not downplaying that. Of course, I've seen this. I've seen this on multiple different occasions. Not even just me, even other people. I've seen this. I've seen it happen many times. So yes, my experiences do play a big role in that. I'm not downplaying that. But
okay.
So, and it's not even just your exes. It's anybody that you've dealt with on any level. And I've told you that too. Like, if you've dated them once, twice, 18 times, 38 times, If you ever guys have ever tried anything like that, no, I'm cool on it.
But I don't think that's fair that
To
you're
me, it is.
projecting your past experience onto me, and you're just assuming that
Everyone's experiences shape their life and have their viewpoints.
Fine,
What do you
but you're
mean?
really trying to make it seem as though any conversation that I'm having with an ex or somebody that I've dated or went on a date or two with, like, it's an issue.
To me, it is.
But I feel like that's the difference,
To me,
is
that's
that
an issue.
I
Why-
can separate the two.
My question is, why do you fight so hard? Why are those relationships so important to you?
Because we're friends.
My thing, yeah, that's what
That's
I'm
the
saying.
thing.
Like,
Like,
why
why is it that
even?
important to you?
Why? Like, as far as complicated and how as hectic as life is with between work, dating, and everything else going on. How do you even say, okay, find time to say, okay, let me go check on this person? Like, what is your theory? Like, why do that?
Because
do
it's
you
one of
think
those
in
things
your
where it's like,
head?
if you
What-
come
like,
to
why do
mind,
that?
or if I see you on social media, oh, what's up? How are you? Like, it's literally that. It's that superficial.
Oh,
it's
just
a
basically
human
that. Okay.
inclination to be like, how are you? What's going on in your world? Okay, cool. Nice chopping up with you. I'll chop it up with you. I don't know, the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months. This is not something where it's like, oh, I'm consistently talking to you, and I feel as though you have one issue with somebody that I went on a date with, and we chopped it up like, oh no, ain't nothing coming from this. We're better off as friends.
Don't
You
care.
have an issue with that.
Don't care.
But that's my thing, is like, you genuinely have an issue with
I
me
do.
being friends with somebody when we have an understanding where it's just like,
No, because I
No,
don't think it's an
that's-
understanding. Because, like I said before, as a man, I know how men think. You just because you're over it and you're okay with that, I'm pretty sure you're the one who initiated. Oh, nah, this is not gonna be friends. I will bet any amount of money on that. That he's not the one that said that.
but I also feel as though you cannot
So-
project
no, no,
onto
no,
me
no,
as
no,
you
no,
being
no,
a
no,
man,
no,
and
no,
I know
no,
how
no,
men
no,
think.
no,
Because
no,
just because you may be a snake and being a
I'm not
man
letting
and
you
you're
do
doing
that.
those things,
I'm
you
not
can't
letting you
project
do
it
that.
onto me.
I'm not letting you
No,
do that
that's what you
because I
do.
just said something. Now address it. Are you the one who initiated that?
I don't even remember. I really feel as though it was something
Okay.
that was
All right.
mutual.
Okay.
Like the friends
I don't
that we
believe that.
went,
I don't believe
the
that for a
friends that
second.
we went
I
to
don't
lunch
believe that
with,
for a
we can
second.
FaceTime them, and you can
I don't
have a
care about that.
But that's my thing, is that
I
you
don't
don't
care.
ever
They don't
want
know
to,
what you did. They
You
don't know
don't
that-
want
they
to
don't know
listen
your
to the
conversation.
people that were around at the time.
I don't care
You don't
about
want
that.
the facts. You
I
don't
don't care
want the
about
proof.
that.
You're
That's
just
not a
taking
fact.
your emotions.
They're not you or him.
But no,
they are not you
but
or
you
him.
can say how
Okay,
you want
yeah.
to prove.
I don't care what anyone
Wait.
else says. You're gonna continue to
Why
do
don't
it,
you
or you're
like
not,
it?
Because I know how men are, and like I said,
Because
if-
you are
like I
projecting
said,
onto
if
me
you-
I
that
think it's
you want
because
to be
he's
a
been
man
hurt
and want to be
previously.
devious, and you
No
want to be
man would like
fake.
that.
Like, that's
Bro.
wild to me.
I'm not projecting.
What man would like that?
No,
Because you're
that's
saying,
not
I know
true.
how men are.
That-
Because
no,
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 that's my
Bree.
thing, is you haven't dealt with the
No,
fact
this
that
is-
you've
this
been
is what
a
I-
cheater.
I've never
before.
cheated. I've never cheated.
You don't want
bro.
to accept the
She
fact
calls
that
me a
you've been a
cheater because
cheater.
I was the other guy. How does that make me a cheater?
You're a cheater.
No, explain me that. No, answer this. Both of you
I'm
answer
trying to
this. How am I a
understand the level
cheater
of the relationship
if I'm the
Wait,
other
wait,
guy?
you got- Bree-
Am I a cheater if I'm the other guy and I'm not in a relationship?
No.
Am I a cheater?
How do y'all feel about Atlanta trying to open up on yesterday? Like, how do y'all feel about that? T.I. said that they trying to kill black people.
I think it has to do with the overwhelming amount of people on unemployment right now. I don't think that they're trying to completely tank those funds. So they're allowing like certain people to go back to work. Everybody who works in hair salons, barbershops, nail
Movie theaters.
salons, no, I don't think movie theaters.
No,
on there.
bowling
It's
alleys. Yeah, bowling alleys.
tattoo
Yeah.
shops. I don't know if I said that or not.
But that's
They
not
can
even.
go back to
But the thing
therapists.
is, that's
Like,
how
those
I
are
feel. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Finish, Brian.
I feel like those are all pretty much people of color who work in those places. I wouldn't say just black people, because when I think of nail shops, those are your Asian population of people.
Orientals. Yeah.
When I think of even like massage therapy places, those are Asian population people. So like a lot of the places that are
Orientals
opening
are
back
good.
up, it's pretty much all people of color.
Yeah.
I think
So you think
it was-
COVID was sent here to kill people of color?
no, I don't think it was sent here to kill people.
The governor
of
is
color.
trying to use it in Georgia to kill people of color.
No, I just think that he isn't knowledgeable, and he is making decisions with money in mind instead of people. Considering that this was supposed to spike in Georgia on the 17th of April, and then you open things up on the 24th.
10 days. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
this is
less than
crazy.
10 days later.
Like that's crazy.
But I mean, as far as opening up, we've been extended out in Dallas here until I think May 15th.
Yeah.
So I think they're still kind of reevaluating.
I hope it gets pushed back
things.
even longer though, because I don't want to spend no money on no going out.
I mean, I feel like I would want there to be a decrease in the amount of people getting it before they consider opening anything. I would want to see the numbers before they jump and tell us, oh, go out, spend your money. Of course, that's going to be a thing. He just said there's things more important than living, and that means making money. Where he's not getting out there and having to go clock in and deal with people on a day-to-day basis. So those. What about the people you're employing? They need to be alive.
But devil's advocate,
they need to be alive in order for the money to keep generating.
But devil's advocate right now, what he's saying don't make sense at the same time though.
How does it make sense?
It makes no sense.
What's more important than staying alive?
No, nothing's more important than that. But what I'm trying to say is
living.
No, listen.
But that's what he said.
Okay.
That is what
I'm talking about. I'm talking about on the side of why people.
You can't try to decipher what he meant
on the
by
side
it.
He
said what he said.
Yeah, but I'm saying on the side of where people, because he was saying that to say, okay, open up the government. I mean, open up the economy, right? Can we all get on? That's consistent agreement. He was trying to open up the economy. What I'm trying to say is by them closing it, it's gonna fuck up our economy, and it will fuck up people's lives.
I mean,
people dying is messing up people's lives.
Into a crash this year, anyways.
Yeah, but the thing is, it can be by them printing money up like how they're printing money, and how them just okay, here goes for businesses, here goes to that, here goes the $1,200 check to everybody. They talking about giving people more money. That can end up being way the value of the American dollar is going to end up going down after this.
I think I would agree with Americans not being on top.
Okay,
as long as people are still
it's easy to say that.
To get back to where we were.
It's easy to say that whenever y'all think, okay, yeah, this is normal. But whenever shit never goes back normal.
But I'm trying to think as far. I guess I'm thinking more of like a human aspect.
Yeah, which is good to think of.
China, they're fucking communist. That's much worse than America. They literally control their citizens' lives.
I mean, no, I'm not saying that that's a great thing or anything, but I'm just saying as far as Americans thinking, I guess, about the economy, like you're putting more Americans at risk by saying like, oh, go back to work. Oh, we need this money to start circulating.
No. America not being on top doesn't change that. We're still gonna make our decisions, and their decisions in America are always gonna be about money.
Yeah, but I guess
I don't think the decision was about money though. I don't think the decision was about money.
Why else would they be in a rush to open it?
No. I'm talking about. I think they literally weighed out the things, because if it was about just like they lost literally who knows however much money, but they were willing to do that. But now the difference is by them opening up the economy right now, they say, okay, and this is me playing devil advocate, not saying I agree with that side or not, but playing devil's advocate is right now people are way more knowledgeable of the coronavirus than a month ago. So if you open up right now, one thing, most people are gonna have on masks. People are gonna do social distancing. So even if you go right now,
that's not true at all.
That is not true.
That's not true at all.
Man, I don't know about Atlanta. I know in Dallas right now, almost every matter of fact, I think in Dallas you can't even go to Walmart without having on a mask. In Dallas, we have these. Here. In Dallas, it is.
No,
I'm
saying for here.
Oh, here, yeah, because they're trying to kill black people. But in Dallas, you can't, like Walmart. There's a line barricaded where there's a Walmart attendant, and you can't even go in Walmart without a mask on. So I feel like right now, if they said, oh, in Dallas we're trying to open up the government, I would understand it because they know, okay, how detrimental it could be in the long run for the state of Texas. But they're like, okay, if we're going to open it back up, we just have to make sure people are knowledgeable that this is easily transferable. We can easily be spread it. So if everybody wear masks, like in Dallas,
but I feel like,
but
to play like devil's advocate to you, you're saying people need to be knowledgeable and people should have masks and things like that. that sounds good in theory, but you can't say people need to be knowledgeable and we need to just open the economy back up because the knowledge is there when you don't provide resources. Like
no, not open it, just open the floodgates, but like how they're doing it, and
even slowly, like you still need to give people masks. You still need to give people gloves.
That's what I'm saying. But the thing is, you can't.
Those should be provided at the establishment.
The thing is, it's like how they say, like in Walmart. Okay, in Walmart here in Texas, you can't go in there without a mask. You know how they used to be in restaurants. Oh, no shirt, no shoes, no service. No shirt, no shoes, no mask, no service. Period, Pooh. Y'all are saying don't open the economy. I'm saying if they open the economy and everybody's knowledgeable of it, it's fine.
That means nothing.
Because people are still touching things. Like, what was it? Yesterday was the first time.
Everywhere. You go to the store, you pick up stuff off the shelf.
But the first time I saw in the store, it said, please pick up the first thing that you, like, touch. Please don't put it back. That was the first time I ever seen a sign like that in the grocery store. Because you go into the grocery store and you pick things up, you look at it, don't want this one, put it back. And move on. And
like it lives on services. It lives on stuff for days at a time before it goes away. What do you mean that you can't get it if you social distance? So you're saying they should close down Walmart? I didn't say that because how would people get food?
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying they don't need to open up anything outside of grocery stores.
But the thing is, Walmart is the place where, like, if you open up a restaurant right now, that won't even happen where somebody's touching something and putting it back. The only place that would happen would be at a...
You touch seats.
Huh?
You touch the seats.
No, but the seats...
You touch menus. Menus are disgusting.
Yeah, but the thing is, in a restaurant, that's why they said when stores or restaurants start opening up, they have to have a plan on how they're going to protect that. So it's easy to say, okay, you're seated here. Whenever those people get up, you wipe down, you sanitize it. That's fine. But in Walmart, you can't do that.
Bro,
so
let's
you're
keep
basically
it 100.
saying,
let's keep it 100. You work in fast food, and you might be on your store. I guarantee you that every single store, just in general, doesn't you have sanitary guidelines, but we both know good and damn well, because I've worked fast food when I was younger, that all stores don't always do the sanitary shit they're supposed to do. Let's keep it 100. You know better than that, bro. You know better than that. Like, yeah, you can say, yeah, it's good, you should do this, but we all know good and damn well it might go for the first couple of days, maybe a week or two, and after that, people gonna start slacking off. Let's keep it 100 now.
That's what it happened.
You know good and damn well that's not the case, bro.
That's what happened in Target.
Okay, so y'all would prefer everything be closed
for longer. Wait until there's a decline in stats. Literally, you just looked at the stats from last week to this week. We're up in deaths 35%. And we're up in new cases like 40%. Why would that make sense to open it up if you're still going up during the shutdown? That doesn't make any sense.
Okay. What are the stats specifically for Georgia though?
That's what I'm talking about. Georgia specifically.
Georgia's up 35%?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's out of pocket.
This is what I'm saying. That doesn't make any sense to open it up. If we're shut down and people know, all right, there's nothing you can do, why open up shit and give people more options of shit to do and go hang out and spread it when we're already up and it's still spreading? That doesn't make any sense.
Things are shut down. But people are still going to parks. People still going to the Beltline. The vast majority of people who are still getting together are us. I hate that. It's like it's a younger group of people, and maybe there is also a sense of millennials feeling as though they're above this virus as well.
I hate it. I don't like it. It's not cool.
And I don't know. People just getting together to get drunk. That's really what it is.
Yep, that's all it is. That's all it is.
Because it's like a lot of people are going to work, like physically having to go to work, so people are just like kicking it.
And getting drunk, exactly.
And then it's just like, why you can't kick it with your household?
I feel sorry for the single people during the quarantine.
That's where you gotta look at your resources. Get on FaceTime, Zoom, call people, communicate.
Or have you the one that you could pull up. Like you gotta at least have the one, right?
Some people don't have a one.
You gotta have the one, dog.
No, some people don't have that. So the thing about it is you gotta look into other things. You gotta make sure you calling, checking on your parents, making sure you're calling your friends,
it's been a
communicating.
Month
you have
quarantine.
To reach out. You gotta reach out and use those resources. Like technology is
Are people still on Tinder during the quarantine?
I'm pretty sure people are still
Probably.
FaceTiming.
I've been on Tinder like this. Swiping. I need a connection. It's the quarantine.
Anyways, besides that, you can FaceTime, you can call, you can have intimate conversations, whatever you want to do.
Zoom.
Doja Cat, all that type of stuff. So I just feel like She got a song. She got a song on her album talking about, I'm not gonna bring it up,
What is it talking
but
about?
it's talking about, being intimate, using on the phone, on FaceTime, on the
Phone sex?
computer, on listen.
Phone sex?
Listen to what I'm saying.
She said,
Listen to what I'm saying.
Hey,
Listen-
thumbnail. Phone sex.
Listen to what you just have to use your resources to, like, we have smartphones, you have a computer, you have this, like,
There was like
you
a
can
number,
text. There are
like a
people
poll
who are
or
in
like a
relationships
census for phone
years,
sex. The numbers are probably way up.
Yeah.
Well, you said what, B?
I said if there's like a census for phone sex, the numbers are probably way up right now.
I
Like,
would-
crazy
like,
right
like,
now.
the lotion
people
sales
out
are probably
here
through the
having
roof.
full relationships with somebody they ain't never met
Pornhub
before.
probably got more viewers than ever before.
Than all ever.
But that's the thing. I will say, even though there are people who are trying to be above this virus, there are also a group of people who are becoming very like innovative and creative during
Yeah.
this time.
You
which
have to
I,
use your
really,
resources.
really appreciate.
Yeah.
Agreed.
really,
But I think us as black young people, even though they're saying we're not dying that often, we should definitely stay inside in quarantine.
I don't think that's
just
true
fucked up.
either.
I just think it's not
I
being
don't,
reported.
I don't think people like I forgot which celebrity said it. Some celebrity was like, "Oh yeah," like at first when it first came out, I was like, "Oh, black people can't get it," and it's just like,
Yeah.
that's stupid.
That's
like
crazy.
to think,
And then
like,
but there are some people
like,
who
You
actually
racist.
read
believe
something
that.
like
That's
that.
racist. Why the virus don't want us?
The thing about it is you shouldn't even be putting it out there for people to even believe, because that's putting more people at risk.
But people believe that.
People believe a lot of
Yeah,
they
things,
did.
and this is why, like Drew, you say like, all right, people are more knowledgeable, but the thing is like, there's so first of all, there's so much misinformation, and then like people really aren't that knowledgeable. If we're being honest, like yes, the knowledge is out there for you, but shit, Google has been around for years and years. People are knowledgeable about a lot of stuff.
But I feel like you can't be super knowledgeable about the virus because people don't know much about it.
Well, they shit.
It's new.
The people who
But I'm saying-
jobs
but
in
I'm
the
saying,
field
like,
about the
if
virus
we-
don't know about it. Nigga, they just
I'm saying,
reported
like, if
that cats
people-
got it. And they had no idea that was possible.
True.
Yeah. Why do you think most men are like against dating independent women?
I feel like you might have said that low.
Independent women.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe the
All
mic's
right.
just low.
Can I
Hold
start
on,
that one?
Randomizer. No, you cannot.
Okay, randomize it. Bring up the randomizer.
Hold on. Something's wrong with this shit. I can't turn it.
You did something.
Okay, here we go.
Randomize.
Who's first?
Da-na-na-da. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na. I can't see. Oh, is it me? Is it green? Oh,
It's
still
Bree.
going.
What?
Ah!
I turned it around and it went to
Blue.
me.
It's on you.
It's on you, Beans.
So why
I
do
turned it
most
around and went to me.
men date strong, independent women?
It's really hard for me personally to speak on like other people.
Just speak on yourself.
I don't have a problem with it. I think she may or may not think that I have a problem with it because I always offer her help whenever she wants to do something, even if she's like saying like, "Oh, I can do it on my own." Like the other day, she was building a shelf. She's like, "Oh, I can do it," and I'm just like, "Oh, I can help you," and she's like, "No," and I'm just like,
Oh,
"I don't have a problem with you being
one of those.
I don't have a problem with you. I don't have a problem with you being independent. I prefer you to be independent. Like I don't want anybody to feel like I don't want you to feel like you need me for anything.
Yes, sir.
Like I want you to be able to do, if you got something that you need to do, that's totally fine.
So
but I also want you to know that I am always willing and able to help you. Well,
So-
maybe not always able. It depends on what it is. But
So
I'm
do you
always willing
prefer-
to try to help.
To date independent women?
Yeah, I don't want anybody who needs me to do stuff like all the time.
That's a fact.
Like, if I'm available, more than likely I will help you or offer the help. Like 9.9 times out of 10, I'm gonna offer the help. But I don't want you to I don't want you to need me. I don't want to date anybody who needs me to do anything. Like, you don't have to need me. Like, sure, you may want me to help, or like I said, I will usually always want to help, just because like that's just how I am. Like, I always like try to help you do anything, no matter how small or big the goal or task is. If I'm able to, I'm definitely gonna help you like do it. Shit, even if I'm not able and I don't know what the hell I'm doing, I'm still gonna offer to do it. All right, let's both get on YouTube and figure this shit out or something. Like, but that doesn't
I think
mean
you're a rare case.
that doesn't mean that I don't want you to be independent. Like, I want that. Like I said, I never pictured myself with somebody who's like a stay-at-home mom or anything. No, I want somebody who out here grinding and doing their own shit on their own. Huh?
Started picturing it.
No, I don't want to picture it. But yeah, this is literal. Like I honestly, like I said, I'm kind of the opposite. I never wanted that. Like I never was like, oh yeah, like I want to be like grow up and like just be like, oh, my wife doesn't have to do anything and she just needs me for everything. Because that's really what that comes down to. And like that's how that all started, was because the men didn't allow the women to do anything, so they need them for everything.
It's not because men
It
didn't
is.
allow.
Yeah, they did.
Society
What you mean?
didn't allow women
And
to
who
work.
do you think controlled the societies? Men. Men were in control. That's where all of this came from. Like, what do you mean? That's what.
Tomato,
That's not where it all came from.
Tomato.
I feel like it is
Huh?
a super male superiority
That's not
complex
where it all
not?
came from.
where
How
they
not?
feel like women aren't really necessary to
How
go
not?
and do these things, so they'll do
Yes,
it.
men believed before the only thing women were good for was bearing children.
Why
What are you
was there a
talking
whole
about?
movement behind it then, Drew?
What are you
Why
talking
were
about?
women marching?
If you go to the root of it, you think it came from that? The root of that?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you
Men
mean?
hunt, women stay home, tend to children.
Yes.
Caveman.
What do you mean, bro? What are you talking about right
That's
now?
what the fuck it is.
Okay, but
Where's
I'm saying-
the proof that's otherwise? Where, show me.
okay.
Tell me some
It
proof
doesn't
that's
make
otherwise.
any sense
Okay.
otherwise.
No, what I'm
Makes
saying
sense.
is it's not about society.
And back in the 60s, when they had whole articles and whole
Hell, before the
commercials
60s.
of women fixing
It's always
these
been like
lunch
that.
and sending them off to work.
You can go medieval times. You don't gotta go 60s.
I'm
You
talking
can go
about
Kings of Queens and
I'm
shit.
talking about caveman days. The reason
Yes.
it wasn't it depended on the man. It was okay. The wife is at home with the kids,
The wife is meek. She needs to be protected.
but it wasn't
She's
because like that's society. It was okay. Somebody has to be with the kids,
it
and the man was physically stronger. As I don't even know if you can say that or how that works, but men are physically stronger. So therefore, they went to go get food, and somebody had to be home with the kids.
Okay,
That's
so
simple.
but there were still caveman-like things back when women could actually be able to do more, and they were still using that whole caveman mentality in present day.
And that's my
Women
thing, too,
still
like,
don't make
times
as
have
much.
changed.
Agreed.
Times have changed, but like a lot of people's ideologies and things don't change with the times. Like people
Agreed.
still look at things the same exact way. Like I said, I don't want you to just feel like all you can do or should be doing is just raising kids. No, we're gonna both get out here and we're gonna fucking conquer some shit.
Amber.
About you all.
Okay. So I feel like when a man doesn't want a woman who is independent, it has a lot to do with their insecurity and some sort of inferiority complex that they may be struggling with. So in order to maintain that supremacy, he has to feel like everyone around him, including his woman, is beneath him. So that means if his woman is going to work and she can take care of herself, she can pay her own bills, that makes him feel inferior. So he would need her to be less than who he feels he is in order to be confident. So if a man is struggling with his woman being independent, then that has a lot to do with him as a person, who he sees himself in, how he sees himself in society. I feel like if I personally, I could never be put in a situation where a man would tell me what I can or can't do, or if he started acting outrageously and I was making more, I did get this huge promotion and the dynamic of our relationship did change, he would need to be comfortable with that dynamic changing, or else there would no longer be a relationship, because at that point I'm sacrificing what my purpose is and reaching my full potential in order for you to maintain your ego, maintain your need to feel powerful outweighs my happiness. So that's really what it boils down to me. He doesn't want to see his girl winning because he feels like he's losing.
So you're saying if a man doesn't want an independent woman, that's what that means, right?
That means he wants to feel like he wants to be the center of everything.
Okay. So what if the man is like basketball player or a rapper, millionaire. And he's like, yo, baby, you don't got to do nothing. Just chill at the crib.
That's one thing. But if he's telling me don't do anything,
what if
that's
he's saying?
another.
What if he's saying that? But he's
if
able
he's
to
saying
fully.
don't do anything, that means he wants total and complete control over
And
everything.
he would still feel away.
And I would feel away. He wants complete control of everything. If he doesn't want me to be able to make my own income or make a decision for myself, that means he needs to know everything. He wants to know everything that I'm doing, when I'm doing it, who I'm seeing. Like,
and
I'm
not a woman. I'm not a woman, but my concern would be with that whole thing is like, all right, if this shit don't work out, what do I do? Because it's like, all right, yeah, like now you're dependent on this.
Yeah,
person
that's another thing. He wants you
like
to
financially
be
for
codependent.
everything, and everything costs money. So you can't really do anything without money, and you're not making any outside of this person. So if they wake up and decide, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, what do you do?
But I think it's also, those are conversations to be had. Like, so to Drew's point, I think when you have the people of the like certain statute and they make so much money, if they were to give the option, if you want to work, cool. If you don't want to work, also cool. But I think there is a conversation that us like common people don't know about. We don't understand the inner workings of that relationship.
No, but I'm asking, and like I get what you're saying, but I'm asking, so like, say a conversation, like what conversation?
Wait, this is Bree's question.
Yeah, but my thing is like that that could still be a part of like their clause, and I say that because I know women who have gone on to date and marry people who may be like professional athletes or people who are in the music industry and they don't work.
I'm talking about without the marriage, because a marriage could apply.
But even before they got to the marriage, like that was still the dynamic of their relationship.
No, that's not the question I'm asking. I'm asking like when you break up, what do you do?
No difference if you were to break up in any relationship, you still have to start over.
No, but I'm saying when you don't have anything because you're not working for anything. Like imagine being like
you don't leave.
30 years old and you're not making any money because you relied on this person for the last 6-7 years. What do you do now?
But you have to bust your ass and get a job.
No, I get that, but it's just
a lot of women
don't leave. Like I couldn't imagine being like in this certain lifestyle for 6-7 years and then all of a sudden it's like, damn, I have literally nothing. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah,
that,
I mean,
like,
but I
mean, I get it. If people do it, if that's what you want to do, go knock yourself out.
I feel like a lot of women who get to that point often regret it. They leave it thinking that he was all like, even when they're in basically that movie with Angela Bassett, Waiting to Exhale. She supported her man his entire career, got him to where he needed to be. And he ended up leaving her, and she didn't get that for a white woman. Okay,
white woman
for a white woman.
So when he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl. Get down, girl. Go ahead, get down.
She was furious because when she was younger, she sacrificed her youth on investing and doing what he saw fit for the rest of the family. But he ended up leaving the family later on, and just seeing her after that transpired, it just goes to show you that. You of course don't jump into anything thinking that it's going to end, but you should also find a life for yourself. Figure out who you want to be for yourself and pursue that. Okay. You don't ever want to regret it.
Gotcha.
Your turn.
To answer my own question, I think that it kind of boils down to control and purpose. I think a lot of men don't date women who are independent because I think by them providing and by them just doing little gestures here and there gives them, I guess, like a purpose in life and also in their relationships. And I think when they date women who are just like, oh no, like I don't need you to do that for me, I got it, it's cool, I think that kind of like chips away at who they may be as a person. But I also think that there may be a slight control factor where it's like, I'm the man of the house. What I say goes and you need to get in line. I don't know. But I think on the flip side, like men who say they want to date an independent woman, me and you bump heads when you always like, I don't want to say overextend to help, but like you're always like, well, let me help you with this, let me help you with that, and it's just like, dang, I got it.
I think particularly, if I can speak to that, I think particularly right now, I'm more like, I guess, overextending to help because I don't really have shit that I can do right now. Like, or I'm not as busy with the things that I would be doing as I normally would be. So it's like, oh, fuck, I got like 24 hours basically of free time every day. Yeah. So there's like nothing for me to really do right now. So it's like, oh, you doing this? Sure, you want some help? I can help you do that. It's more so for me right now. I'm just looking for shit to do. It has nothing to do with control or anything. It's just like, oh shit, this is a task that I can do. Let me help you do this task.
And I think that's the thing.
Like,
it
has nothing to do with control. Like, I guarantee you, and even before this happened, it wasn't like that. I would ask you to help, but it wasn't like this because I didn't have the same amount of free time. I just got too much fucking free time.
All I wanted to do, y'all, the other day was build that bookshelf by myself. And I had to, like, fight him to leave me alone to build a bookshelf.
More so for me, and it wasn't necessarily like that it was a fight. Like I said, for me, it's just like, I don't have shit else to do. It's like, shit, what we do is sit here and be on my phone or like play the game or some shit.
I think you were
I just want to be busy.
You're in the middle of doing something.
What was I doing?
I don't know. You're in there on the computer. And then you came out here and was like, oh, let me help you. And I was like, no. I want to do this.
Do you feel like Beans is against being independent?
Yes, and
that is a good question.
No, I think even like when you didn't have as much free time, me and you would still kind of bump heads when it's just like, no, you can't help me. You're just like, let me help you, and it's like, no, like I got it. And I think it's one of those things where like I don't mind the help, and you even mentioned it. You was like, it's almost like you kind of give in to me helping you. And I think for me, it's just like I find
helping like on what type of topics? I'm sorry to interrupt, but like help when you say helping, like
anything. If I want to straighten up the living room, like I don't need you to fluff the pillows with me. I can do it. I'm okay. And he's just like, let me help you.
I really don't think that I always do that. And I feel like
totally
it wasn't always like that. And in general, it's just literally me just trying to be helpful. I'm trying to make sure that you understand. Like, oh, there's nothing you have to do alone. Like, if you want to do something alone, I think that's okay.
Like that don't mean that doesn't mean
that you don't have to do any of this alone. That you have help.
I'm on the flip side where it's just like I'm so used to doing things for myself and by myself, and I don't mind you helping, and I think like you help a lot. There are also times where it's just like I just want to do this by myself. It's not
but I think that's different.
I don't want you around. Different. Like, I really just wanted to like build a bookshelf. I don't know if it was like some type of complex that I was like proving to myself like, yeah, girl, you still got it. You can put these things together or what. But it's just like I genuinely just wanted to do the bookshelf. And like I know I'm capable of putting things together because it's just like the entertainment system that's right here, the one that's in my room, that console table. Like I put all this stuff together. I'm able to do it. I just haven't done it in a while because you normally do those things. Like, you just put the desk together.
Literally goes back to the other thing. Of course, this was off podcast that Bria had said last night. We're in the beginning of the relationship. Everybody's trying to, like, prove to the other person, okay, I'm here for you.
No, this isn't even me trying to prove it. This is just me.
If Amber tells me she wants to build a bookshelf by herself, I'm going to say, okay, cool, perfect. And I'm going to go upstairs. My ass going to be upstairs watching YouTube. Like, oh, I want to cook by myself? Okay, cool, perfect.
No, Drew would help me. He would come back and see what I was doing with that bookshelf, and he would try and help.
I'm telling you this.
Because I have to tell him sometimes, stop. No, I got it. I have to do that sometimes. So he's contradicting himself. I have to tell him fall back. Okay?
Can I say my view on independent women?
Okay, go for it.
And this shout out to our follower on YouTube. I forgot what his exact name was, but every single man would love to have an independent woman. I think whenever a man is dating, especially if you're dating,
some men wouldn't.
No, if you, I feel like if you're dating,
you can't speak in absolutes, bro. I don't think absolutes are good for anyone on any topic, no matter what it is. Absolutes are terrible.
Okay, facts. But I'm saying
there's some men who don't like that.
Okay, but I'm saying though, I feel as though I'm putting this. I feel as though if a man is dating, you might have the thickest, beautiful, best punani woman in the world. But if she's just still staying at her mama house, she don't got no car, you just gonna hit that, and that's not true.
I don't think that's true either. I don't agree with that.
Some men would want to save her.
Yeah, you're
Some
right.
men
You're
would be like,
right.
I want to take
What
care of
I
the house.
what
I
I
wanna
know,
take care of
I don't
you.
necessarily want that.
All I can talk on is my experience. I will never ever on this podcast or if you meet me one-on-one talk outside of my experience. I'm talking about for me personally. Yeah. One of the things of Amber being an independent woman is what made me like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna lock that down. Because there was plenty of girls I might have talked to who might have been cute or might have been funny, might have been creative, might have been hip. But if you stayed at your mother's crib, it's a dub. In my head. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm gonna fuck with you and like everything copacetic, but I'm not taking it further because I can't even say that though. I can't
exactly. I can't necessarily say that either because I think it depends on like the situation.
Yeah, you can't even say that.
The person in the situation. I think.
Because I was at my father's house.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I think that's situational.
You can't say she's not independent.
Yeah. So as far as independent women though, I know for me. Yeah, that was a horrible explanation. But for me, I love an independent woman. I love an independent
So what makes a woman independent to you?
To me, if you talk to a girl, yo, what up? You got your own crib. You independent. You got your own whip.
What if somebody else pays for that? Crib? Yeah,
pay for the
you don't know the inner workings.
But if you tell
the inner workings, then a lot of people won't give you that information.
You're seeing it from the outside.
What else can you? I mean, how else can you know it? Whenever you met me, Amber, and I was staying at my father's house, what made you think I was independent or I could hold my own?
From our conversations, from just me getting to know you and how hard you work, like.
You didn't even know what my job was.
I didn't know, but I knew you were always working.
You knew I stayed at my daddy's house. You didn't even know if I was working.
Did you tell her that you were a real estate agent?
No, I told her nothing.
I didn't know.
That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke.
You out here telling people you a real estate agent.
That used to be Drew's thing.
That used to be my thing.
He didn't tell me anything. I knew
he had to get up early to go do real estate.
What? Was that your lie to get people out there? Time out.
To get them out the house in the morning.
Out of the house in the morning. That sounds like it.
To get people out of the
house in the morning.
Oh, I gotta go to work.
Nah, that was just like the thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I gotta go to work.
Yeah, be like, oh yeah, I got it. Boom, it's a wrap.
you gotta go because I gotta go, even though I ain't going to work.
But for me, an independent woman is a woman who can pay her own bills. Whenever we go on a date, she's not it's a difference between because a man goes on a date expecting, and that's why if a woman know how to finesse. She'll be like, "Oh, let me pay for that
one time."
But she knows in the end she's really just planting a seed. So she know, let me pay this for this first date, and I'm gonna really reel him in.
Oh, nah.
But if a woman just got her like a woman who could just hold her own, a woman who could just hold her own, who's not dependent on no nigga. She not chasing. Okay. She not. She said she never paid for the first date.
And
I'm not sure many have.
I'm pretty sure there are women.
I'm sure there are women who have paid for their first date. So I feel as though
I'm sure that number is very small.
If there's a woman that paid for the first date, please comment in the comment section.
I'm pretty sure there's a woman out there.
Please,
she exists.
I'm sure there's very
few. Not me.
All the viewers. If there's that one woman in the world that exists, please comment. You might have to watch this.
7.8 billion comment.
She's not me.
Speak up.
There's no woman.
So at what number of date will you consider paying?
Depends on how I feel.
So number 2 is not off limits?
It may or may not happen. The chances of it happening is low.
So number 3.
Probably still low.
So then you gotta get to 5, 6, 7, 8 before you start paying?
The third, fourth date.
Depends.
Damn, we gotta get up to 8 with her, Drew. Until she consider paying number 8.
I think it depends.
Yeah.
I love, I don't know. I just really enjoy this podcast just for the fact of, I don't know. I just like it. It's natural, and I don't know. I just fuck with this shit. I just have to put that in there because I've been drinking this shut at home.
I'm finna take it. I'm about to take it.
What makes a woman
ain't no more
independent
now.
to you?
To me? Somebody who doesn't necessarily need me.
Need you how?
For anything. Like, there's not... I can't think of anything.
What rich homie Quan said, she don't need nothing but some hard dick in the niggas in the shoulder to lean on.
Actually, that's not even... Honestly, the funny thing is about that line is you just went into him saying, you can't trust these girls. But, I would think of that would probably be the only thing you would probably really need me for. And you really don't need me for that because everybody got shoulders and all men got dicks. So you really don't need me for that. My point being is, as far as that's concerned, is that you're choosing me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't necessarily need you to need me for anything. Like it doesn't seem like you were perfectly fine and functioning before you met me. Mm-hmm. Like you don't need me for anything.
That was the perfect explanation.
Thank you, Aaron.
Like,
That was the perfect
I
explanation.
appreciate Aaron's
Like everything
response.
was good. That was
I didn't understand
perfect.
nothing you said.
Yeah, I was around.
So you don't need me for anything. Like
you were
you
good,
were straight
yeah.
before I showed up. All I can do is try to add to that. That's all. And you chose
Please
to
stop
let me
shaking
add to it
this
or whatever. But that's it for me.
I think it's interesting that like the two of you aren't threatened by independent women.
I think any man is attracted more. Even the most richest man, if there's a woman who got her own business or something like that going on, he's gonna be more attracted to a woman.
I don't agree with that because it's going to be like, why does she need me?
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And just think about too, just in general. Think of like all like people who are just like. Imagine people who are like kind of nerdy or just like lame in school or stuff like that. They couldn't really get girls when they get money or things like that. They're using that to reel women in, saying like, "Oh, you don't have to do anything." Like they just want somebody just to be around.
They want to feel
and
needed.
be in control and feel needed and stuff. I don't think that's the case at all. I can't agree. I disagree with you on that.
I can't even look at it through them type of spectrums though. I can't even look at it from that angle.
So you can't say any man.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in general. If you're dealing with a real human being who knows himself,
maybe
he's not. If you're dealing with a man who knows himself, he would super duper understand. Okay, an independent woman is a great
unless he knows himself to want to be controlling, and then it don't apply no more.
Yeah.
But then I don't think you really know if you're a human being who has to control another human being, you don't know yourself.
That's not true.
But I don't think that's
a fact.
I feel
That's a
like
fact.
like
That's a
how
fact.
I was saying,
That's
some
a
men.
fact.
Some men see that as giving
That's a fact,
purpose
Beans.
to their life is to be able to
That's a
like
fact.
take care of their partner in that capacity. I think like there are genuinely some men like that.
Okay, we're recording now. My topic is, with all this going on right now with the COVID, they're like everybody got a stimulus check or supposed to be getting one and all that. And now they're talking about like a second.
I didn't get mine. They trying to play me.
I still haven't got mine, but I was able to log into irs.gov and it was like let me put in my information. So they said mine's is coming, so it's lit.
I did that like 2 weeks ago and I still don't got mine.
Then that means you probably getting a paper check though. It's in the mail, and you might not get it till September. But with all that going, yeah, it's fucked up. But with all that going on, they're talking about like a second line of stimulus because I don't know if you guys know, unemployment is like at 20% right now, which is like a unseen area. Like, and really and truly, if you look at what's going on, there's no way possible the 20% may even go down. Like just this week, I think, or last week actually, like 4.2 people filed unemployment, and next week it's probably even gonna be another.
Only 4 people? Only 4.2 people?
4.2 million.
Okay.
You didn't say million.
Thank you for the clarification.
Million. Let me be more specific.
I was like, damn, how 0.2
4.2 million.
What is a 0.2 of a person?
So they were talking about like another stimulus check coming, and I don't know if y'all keep up with politics too much, but there was a Democratic candidate Andrew Yang, like he's from China. A nigga, I don't know if he's from China, but yeah. But he was running for president,
American.
and he was talking about like a universal income where he was going to give every American $1,000 a month. So now with them thinking of giving out another stimulus check, what are y'all thoughts on like what if every American got say $1,500 a month, like just free money? Like, do y'all think that would be good or bad towards people? And I'll start just so y'all can get an idea of where I'm going at with the question. So I feel like if you give every American $1,500,
It's on Amber. It's not you. It's not on you.
Oh, who is
It's
it on?
Amber. It's on Amber.
Amber, there.
How would I feel about
Universal income. If everybody gets like a $1,500 check every month, do you think it's going to make Americans lazy and not want to work, or do you think in the end it'll benefit
I
Americans?
feel like there's always going to be some people who are going to try to take advantage of the system.
But as an overall, what do you think? It's no taking advantage of it because everybody gets it. Everybody, no matter how much you make,
But there's
everybody
some
gets
people
it.
who are just not going to go to work and just depend on that.
But if you get it regardless, it don't matter if you go to work, right?
Yeah.
It don't matter no matter what.
you
They're
get
talking
it
about
regardless.
universal income. Everybody gets it regardless.
So what if the people who are getting it regardless and choose not to go to work aren't contributing to society as a whole? Like, what if they're not going?
But remember now, once they
dollar?
have that, once you're getting that $1,500, in a real sense of it, you are still contributing to the economy
Because you're spending.
because you're spending the money. Yeah.
It.
But as that, like, so you think it would be a bad idea to
I'm
do?
not saying it's a bad idea. I mean, I feel like I need to know more about it to really speak on it.
I mean, there's nothing more. A universal income is where everybody gets a certain amount of check from the government, and I'm just throwing out the idea of
so
a $1,500.
even like the wealthiest person is going to get
Everybody gets $1,500. What do you think that would help people,
I feel like
help
it
the
would
economy as a whole, or be bad towards the economy as a whole?
I feel. I mean, just opinion based from hearing it from you, not really doing any research on it. I feel like it sounds good. It sounds like a good thing.
And why do you think it would be beneficial?
Because I feel like everyone would have that income to contribute to the economy and be able to take care of the necessities, their bills, whatever lifestyle that they're living, it'll help contribute to that lifestyle and also help contribute to the economy.
And what about to the individual? How do you think it will benefit the individual, if you don't mind me asking?
They're able to, take care of their bills. They're able to put money towards what they want to do. If it's not anything at all, they're still able to pay whatever rent or put money towards their mortgage or whatever it is that they see fit. They're able to make sure that that's taken care of.
And
but that also doesn't leave any room for any excuses because you're getting that money. So there's no reason for. I feel like it'll be more critical when like rent is due and like people are trying to figure out when you're going to pay this or pay that because you're getting $1,500 a month and everyone knows you're getting this amount a month. So why can't you pay this or why can't you pay that? I feel like it's going to.
So you think it would be super beneficial if they did do like a universal income?
I feel like it would be beneficial. I'm just going off of what you've told me and completely opinion based. I feel like it, of course, with people having income would be beneficial.
Beans on the opposite screen.
So, just off of purely, like I didn't really do any research really either, but purely off of economics, it sounds like an awful idea.
Why so? Now don't focus on where, because I think if you're talking about like where the money's coming from, is that what you're about to say?
Yeah, that's important.
No, but no, the thing is like
I'm not focus on that.
No, don't focus. I want to say on just the impact of the money, because the thing is what people say who talk about the universal income, they said, like there's corporations like Amazon who paid $0 in taxes.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about even if you don't tax the corporations. Where is this money coming from? That's what I'm
create
money.
That's what I'm saying. No.
In regards to money, I can't think about money and not think of the consequences.
This is what
this is taking money. You're asking me what's good or bad. I'm telling you the reason.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you about. I'm trying.
Drew, this isn't a debate.
No, it's not a debate. But I'm trying to give him the information that he's trying to ask for. So therefore,
I'm not asking for anything. I'm giving my opinion.
Okay, but I'm gonna answer the question because the minute you say your opinion,
you're interjecting. You're supposed to give. He has the floor.
No, but there's an answer to exactly what he's saying.
Okay, well then you let him give his opinion, and then we run back around.
You seem really passionate. Go ahead.
The answer to what you're saying, because of course, whenever Andrew Yang even presented it, they're like, "Oh, where's this magic money going to come from?" The thing is, there's corporations who aren't spending. I mean, who like Amazon paid no money in taxes. So what he's saying, what he was presenting was, okay, these big corporations that are finding these loopholes to not spend taxes. The money to pay all these Americans this universal income would come from big companies who aren't spending no money, like Amazon. And and he was also saying, like, I don't know if y'all remember this, and we may not. I know we all studied it, but like when the oil, like in Alaska, every person in Alaska gets a certain amount of money a year because of all the oil that gets drilled in Alaska. So they give every person in Alaska a benefit, a check every year because of that.
Yeah.
So the same thing in America, he was saying they should do with technology, because technology is going to get rid of a lot of people's jobs. So he was saying we tax the people, like whether it be Tesla, because they're doing the self-driving vehicles, all these technology companies, we tax them extra. and we use that money to pay all these Americans, just like how they do in Alaska, because they're getting the Alaska's so full of oil, so they want everybody to benefit off it. America is real good at technology, so let everybody benefit off it. You tax them more. Amazon made so much money, so he's saying basically you tax them, and the money doesn't even have to become created, or it's money from tax big ass companies, if that makes sense. It's where he's saying is the money would come from.
Okay. All right.
So it's not like they're printing more money to pay all these Americans, or it's coming from basically putting a higher tax. Like Amazon paid no money in taxes. That's out of pocket. I paid taxes last year. Me.
Okay.
Like,
okay. So let me just run by the numbers that you gave out really quick.
All right.
There are 328 million people in America, and that's obviously a rough estimate. Everybody
exactly.
Go with censuses. It would cost $492 billion a month to give people $1,500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how much you tax Amazon or other companies like that. No, that's not sustainable. $492 billion a month?
Okay.
It's not sustainable on any level. I don't care how, even if you give me the money and I spend it all back, it's not all going back into the economy. How do you think people build wealth? Like, yeah, people can afford to pay rent, but that means the person the landlord is making that money. They're not necessarily going to put it back into the economy. What if they don't need extra money? They're just saving it.
Okay.
It doesn't help the economy. That's detrimental to the economy.
Okay.
Inflation is a real thing. The dollar would become worthless if you're printing up that much money every month. Like I said, I don't care how much you tax Amazon. You can't tax Amazon $492 billion a month. They wouldn't be a company anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta think, Apple just crossed $1 trillion. Like, last year, Apple's been a thing for over a decade. That's not over 2 decades.
Very
That's not
true.
possible. That's not even a plausible thing. That can't be a thing. That cannot happen.
Exactly. Okay.
If you started from the beginning, sure.
Because
maybe
of
put a
the
system in
economy,
place.
what
You
it would
can't
do to the
that
economy, right?
Yeah, they would have ruined the economy, and our economy crashing would have ruined the entire world.
Okay. Perfect.
You can't do that.
Perfect answer. Perfect. Perfect.
It sounds amazing.
No. What he's saying
It
is
sounds good in theory.
no. What he's saying is
sounds
no. What
great.
he's saying
Yeah.
is no. What his answer is so perfect.
It sounds great. Yeah.
I think it all sounds good in theory to like help people who are less fortunate and tax people who just have like a surplus of money. It sounds good in theory, but there's no way to do that. And like companies just be like, all right, well, at this point, if you're just gonna tax me all this money and I'm just giving everybody, really, what is the point?
Okay, perfect.
Because like if you tax Amazon billions and billions of dollars, like I said, you need $492 billion a month to even sustain that. Never mind of what that costs a year. Like shit, I didn't even do the math, but that times 12 is well over. That's like at least $6 trillion almost.
Exactly.
If you do that every month, that's not even like a thing. Like that's not
because
money coming from
because of the economy, right? Because it would fuck up the
Yes,
economy.
it's just not possible to do.
Before you were saying keep the economy closed, so you're saying they should open the economy right now because of what it'll do to the economy.
No, I didn't say that. I just said you can't just give out a bunch of free damn money either.
Okay, so with the economy right now, with people trying to open up, should they? You were saying earlier they should keep it closed due to the fact that the virus is not under control. So now you're saying, okay, to save the economy, you can never give people $1,500, even if it would benefit the less fortunate. Don't do
I
it.
didn't say. No, I said you can't do it every month. I said you would need $492 billion every month.
Okay,
If
so
you do
I'm
it
saying
once or twice. Sure, the economy is going to take some effect, but like in the long term, the economy would very like if no one had any money to spend because everybody was spending all their money to try to survive this, and after this, no one had any money. That would kill the economy long term.
But the thing is, what
long
about
term,
okay?
you can't
But
give
the
people that money
economy.
every month.
Okay, you're looking at the economy long term. But what about
Yeah.
the human beings long term? How that would affect in a positive way all the human beings?
Sure, it would affect a positive, but in the long run, it wouldn't. It would if your money's not worth anything. What are you spending it on? Your money's not worth anything. You can't. Buy anything.
Okay.
When
So
your money
therefore,
becomes worthless,
okay.
The same thing in Venezuela. Are you familiar with what happened in Venezuela?
With what?
They printed so much money in Venezuela that their money became virtually worthless.
Okay.
They were literally in helicopters dumping thousands and millions and billions of dollars out because it was worth nothing. It's not worth anything. What are you going to buy? Essentially, we give money value. Money is paper. It really doesn't have any value
at
on its
all.
own.
Exactly.
You're giving it value. But the more you print and the more of it that's in circulation, that value that you gave it is going to drop and drop and drop and drop.
Okay, but
you can't continue to just give people money. It's not going to be worth anything. If that's the case, then just nobody pay for anything. And everybody just go back to farming and shit, and all this shit will collapse. Everything costs money to operate.
Okay, and are you okay? And that's your point on it, right?
Yeah.
Who's next? Whose point is next?
You.
Me?
I don't
Yeah,
want to
you.
go
Okay.
after that.
You.
This is my point on it. I think, honestly, a universal income would benefit the American people in ways that they have no idea. Because the thing is, if you don't do a universal income, people are going to be out of jobs, and the shit, America's gonna be fucked up. Period. America's economy and America people are going to be messed up. Because right now we're seeing.
Are you talking about based off, really quickly, are you talking about based on the fact that this is happening, or you're talking about this in general?
I'm talking about in general of I'm talking about in general, even if this didn't happen, if you just
So how do we survive all of these years without it then?
without what, universal income?
As a general whole,
If
how
you
do we all survive without a universal income?
listen to it. If you look at it, Beans, I mean, I don't know how your situation, oh, I kind of know, but excluding your situation, do you think people are really surviving right now? The average American does not have $1,000 in savings. That's not surviving. The average American lives like, paycheck by paycheck.
With inflation, the more money you print, the price of everything goes up. So it doesn't matter if
but Beans, the way you're looking at it,
everything goes up. You're in the same spot.
The way
you're in the same position as before.
Okay,
if I print all this money, just give it to you.
Yes,
you're in the same place.
But listen to what you're saying. You're steady talking about the money side of it. No, I mean it's not. Whenever it's not. Because listen, whenever
you're talking about money from jump.
The money is
whenever you look at, if you give somebody $1,500 a month, right? That allows that person to, for one, you have time to do more shit. The one reason why why people may not be able to, learn a new skill, or study what they're interested in, or this because they're working 40 plus hours a week. If you give somebody $1,500 a month, that gives them time to like even with the corona thing alone, as an example, is people right now have more time to dabble. This podcast happened because of coronavirus. If it was not for coronavirus, I would. Money. I'm telling you right now.
It doesn't have to do with money you're talking about.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is the free time. When people say time is money, the only reason why white people are why they own 99% of the wealth in America is because they had time. We were slaves for 400 years. We didn't have time to learn a new language, learn an instrument, do what we're interested in. We were working all day. They had time. Well, while we were working, white people had time. Time is money. They didn't have time to invest. They were investing their money into themselves. If you look up what are the top 10 things to invest in? The first one of the top 10 things to invest in is yourself, meaning a book, education, learning something new. If you're working a 9 to 5 all the time to pay bills, to eat, you don't have time to even. They have a head start on us but like years ahead of us, just because we were slaves for 400 years.
I'm not disputing any of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying by giving people
$1,500 a month has zero implications. You can't do that without consequence.
Okay, therefore, so you're choosing
a system in place.
So
if you start the society like that from jump, sure, we've had this system in place for mad years. You can't just do that without there being consequences. You cannot just say, I'm gonna just print up $1,500 for everybody. Like I said, that $1,500 would basically become unimportant. It'd be like irrelevant. It doesn't even matter because the price of everything is going to go up, where that $1,500 means nothing anyway. We're capitalists. You can't go just from capitalist to socialism and not think there's going to be any implications.
I'm not saying socialism. I'm saying
That's
people.
What you're saying.
No, I'm saying
universal income is socialism. That's socialism. That's Swedish.
No, it's not socialism at all. It's not
socialism.
socialism.
That's socialism.
It's not.
Okay.
How is it not?
I'm saying,
look at the definition of it.
Google it. You're right there. I'm saying I don't even care about the economy aspect of it. I'm saying for human.
You have to when you're talking about giving people free money. You have to talk about the economy. You can't talk about money and not talk about the economy. Yes, it'll help people, but in the long run, it won't because the economy will suffer. Would be detrimental to people.
I don't believe so. I think it would get uglier, but in the long run, if you have more people who would, I just don't look at it like that. I'm sorry. I don't look at it as a numbers or money type of thing. I'm saying for a people thing, people are living paycheck by paycheck. When this corona shit happened and people got let go, people are effed up right now. Effed up, period. And that's messed up.
Sure.
That's messed up.
I feel like that still kind of adds into like the economy kind of going to crap. But
the economy is crap now.
What were you saying?
No, but I'm saying like I see both sides. Like I think Drew is coming more from like a human aspect of it, and you're just thinking more like financial.
A politician,
numbers.
But I'm not.
I think
because I'm saying humans will 1,000,000% benefit from it in the short term. Just like right now, humans are benefiting from the short term. Are you going to sit here and tell me that there's no implications of them just creating $1 billion to give to people right now?
No, you're thinking numbers.
There's no implications of that. Of them just coming up with $1 trillion. Really, 1.4 trillion because they just did another stimulus to bail out companies for 432 billion.
And that's fine, but I think
is there no implications for 1.4 trillion dollars being printed up?
Between understanding like human people, and yes, there are poor people, middle class, working class, high class, all of that. I am kind of torn on giving $1,500 to each person because I think that'll create more of a disparity between poor class and high class.
How?
Because just you're getting an additional
the rich people, $1,500 is not gonna be nothing. If you're making $200,000,
no, but that's $1,500 that's accumulating every 30 days that I've done nothing for. So you're going to continue to create a gap, and it's going to be a disparity.
That's $19,000
because with a rich person, you're just letting that money sit there. With a poor person, like you're spending this income because you need it. Like you have to have this money.
But the thing, that's what I'm trying to say though, Bree, is the thing is, yeah, you're spending it to sustain life, but you don't have to work as much. Right now, I'm trying to tell you this podcast is
Americans.
Yeah, but the thing is, people don't want to work this much. People have to work this much.
That's the big. I think it's not necessarily an issue of having universal. What did you say? What did you call it?
Universal income. Yeah, you get everybody's little check.
I just think it's more so that this like quarantine time has made people take a step back into spend more time with family, spend more time like with themselves, and just kind of realize that working this 9 to 5 for 40 plus hours, if not longer.
But how can they stop? But how can they stop that, Bree? How can they stop that, Bree?
I think that has to do with how society is going. Hold on, how society is kind of structured. I think if society doesn't push the 40-hour work week as like a norm, and maybe push 25 to 30 hours.
And how can they? And that's the whole thing, Bree. By giving somebody $1,500 a month, you don't have to work 40 hours a week. Like exactly like you just said.
All the people not working.
But even if you didn't give them $1,500 a month, if you were to ultimately, I guess, raise wages but cut hours to where you still get kind of much the same equivalent money, but you work less, I think that would just change the trajectory of the society, and it won't necessarily.
That's the same. That's the same.
What you guys aren't counting is the fact that yes, people do win in that situation. I totally get that. I understand that people do need to be paid more, but what you guys are not counting is the fact of these companies. Like, yeah, I'm not saying that people should be paid less or how they are. I truly and honestly believe that people should be paid more. But the way this shit has always been structured is if these companies aren't making the same amount of money, it's going to be hard for them to continue.
Okay, but Beans,
costs money.
It needs to be. Do you not understand? These companies, you're black. Beans, you are black. Beans.
And that's why I don't work for these companies.
These people had a 400-year head start on black people. The people who are hurt the most by this income disparity are black people. White people own most of the wealth in America.
But what you're talking about is giving everybody the same amount of money. Black people don't get an advantage if everybody's getting the same thing. We don't get the catch-up. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. No, they don't. Everybody's getting the same. That's giving everybody the same. If I give everybody $1 million and you already had 10 million, now you got 11. I got 1. The gap is exactly the same.
Beans. What's change nothing? Beans. Yeah. Okay, Beans. Listen to this right now, because I'm gonna give an example off of this. I don't know if this will be in it.
Hold on, really quick. Pause real quick. I need to change this better. Really quick. I need to pause.
Yeah. I feel like you have two completely different sides and viewpoints on this.
And he's too stubborn.
No,
he's too stubborn.
You're too stubborn, nigga.
He's too stubborn.
It's going absolutely nowhere. You're both so fucking
He's too stubborn. Okay.
Both of y'all.
Y'all both feel passionately like you're thinking more so about the economy and it crashing, and Drew is thinking more so like the American people and how can we better people as a society.
That doesn't change, like you said, that doesn't change the gap if everyone's giving here.
I feel like that's great because people are going to side with Aaron, some are going to side with Drew. People are going to have their. It's going to be a discussion.
But I want to get to who's right or who's wrong.
I don't think there's a.
That'll never happen in this. Honestly, that'll never happen because you got your stance and I got mine, and I'm not changing on it because I know what I'm. Like my side of it, and you know your side of it.
Just thinking about
this is not going to change.
Conversation in general, there's not a right or a wrong because there are going to be numbers.
And it's never going to happen.
You're a Christian. There's a right or wrong to this. There's a right or wrong.
This is never going to happen.
You can't sit here and say like, oh, numbers are more important than actual human beings. Like, it's nice to have like all those people on board when you have these conversations so that you can think about different aspects. But it's not like you're right, you're wrong. It's not. It's just y'all see things differently. You're more so concerned about people. He's more so concerned about, okay, what happens to the economy when this happens. How long is too long? I don't think most women want to be serial girlfriends. I don't know how long is too long. I do know people who date for like 9 or 10 years and it's like, ooh, let's get married now, and it's just like common law, y'all been married. But
that's only in Georgia.
Yeah.
If you live everywhere elsewhere, it's not the case.
Nah. Oh, okay. Depending on the relationship, anywhere between 2.5, closer to 3 is like enough time to determine like, yep, I want to do this, or no, I don't want to do this. But I think it also depends on the experiences y'all have had together. So like there could be a couple that has now dated for 3 years, but maybe they've never lived together. So it's like they haven't hit certain milestones, so they don't really know how they mesh. But then there could also be an instance where it's like we literally have been together every day, every hour, on the hour for the last 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, a year. What do you want to do? So I just really think it depends on like the milestones that you may hit in your relationship before you say, yes, I want to get married. But I think honestly anything over 5 years is excessive unless you've had like, I don't want to say traumatic life experiences, but you've just had life experiences or setbacks, or maybe even setbacks in your relationship where it's just like maybe year 4 was really rough for us and it was shaky, and now year 5 is cool, so we're just trying to get back on track before we move on. So I don't know. I think it's kind of up in the air, but for me, 5 is pushing. Yeah, 3 is pushing it for me.
I was just gonna say I was in a relationship for 4.5 years, and then the 4-year mark came, and everything just went to shit. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Though. So had we gotten married at the 3-year mark or something, they'd be like, all right.
But it's also like, well,
one coming.
But did it go like sour because maybe there was something that somebody wanted and the other person didn't want to give it to him?
She cheated.
I know that, but I'm just saying like there's still things that lead up to people cheating. Not saying it's like right, and I'm not justifying it,
That's
like,
what I'm trying to say
no,
now.
I'm
Like,
not.
huh?
I'm not justifying it. I know people like self-sabotage their relationships a lot of time, but if you like literally sit back and just kind of reflect, maybe things weren't being met on each other's end, and maybe that's why it kind of started to fall apart.
I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna let it go. For me, I don't think there's a time necessarily. It takes however long it takes. Personally, if that's something that you want to do at all to begin with, I don't personally want to get married. I don't see the point. Obviously, that's a whole nother topic for another podcast, I guess. Technically, we already had that one, but we can have it again. But yeah, so I don't necessarily think there's a time limit. I think everything is based on what works for you. If you feel like you want to get married in the first 3 months and that's been too long, you guys should have been done it, then knock yourself out. If you in year 19 and you're like, oh yeah, we not married yet, we don't want to get married, or maybe not now, or whatever works. I know that may not help at all, but I think it's like a unit discussion, I think. And there's no like set time or anything that just should work for everyone.
So Drew forgot to press record, so we didn't record anything that was just previously discussed.
Oh my God.
Did you blame that on me, Amber?
And you just wiped up the floor with a dirty rag.
Yeah, with that sprayed down.
And this camera.
Okay.
And the table is
keep
sweeping.
moving.
Okay, so all right, so Amber, your turn.
You said-
Amber, your turn. What happens to the first two?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on me? Ah, okay.
It's on you.
So, for me personally, it's important to me. I do feel like I don't want to go 5-6 years into a relationship and we don't know, and we haven't solidified being married. That's something I feel like I would want. I can't speak to others. I know that everybody has their own thing. Some people choose not to get married. Just speaking from what I've noticed of, like, even like in my family, where I had a relative agreed not to get married anymore, and his girlfriend at the time agreed that she wasn't going to get married again. They dated for like 10 years, and then later on down the road, she in fact did want to get married. Her feelings did change later on. So I feel like when you are with a person for such a significant amount of time, if sometimes that feeling may change. And I know what I want initially, and I wouldn't want to date anyone for a decade and not be married. I feel like that's important for what I believe, what I was raised to believe, as far as like, just stand before God, taking those vows. That's something I value and I find important. So no, I feel like for you should know enough about a person within those first two to 3 years where you feel like, oh, okay, I'm confident and I know that I want to be with her. Or maybe you just don't necessarily want to get married at all. And so that could be one thing. But for me personally, and for what I see from my relationship going forward, I would want to get married. And I do think that being together for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and you want to get married, and then your spouse is just putting it off, is just inconsiderate. And you got your core beliefs are different. So maybe you should, because you can meet somebody tomorrow or a month down the road later, and that person will want to get married to you within 6 months, versus the man that you spent 6, 7, 8 years on, and he didn't want to do it.
But I think I don't think that means the relationship's a success because you got married.
I mean, but
it goes down to core values.
If that's what she wants, and that's what she wants, and you're not able to give that to her in that relationship, then their values are differently. He doesn't value marriage.
Okay. And let me now.
I'm not gonna turn into a debate. And like I said, it's a debate. That's a debate for another. The reason why I didn't say anything else is because we agreed that it wasn't gonna be that debate. Because that debate can go on for a long time.
I don't think it's a debate. I think that what I want is what I want, and I don't have to debate anything.
Yeah, what makes sense, but my, and I hate to even, let me not make it another.
I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for anybody else.
But I'm just saying, though.
I don't know what you're saying.
What do you feel? Like you said, that's how you were raised, right?
That's how I feel. I would want to get married. I would want to have.
But listen,
but you're asking me how I feel, and I'm telling you how I feel. I feel as though I want to have my father. I want to have a wedding. I want to have my father walk me down the aisle. I want to have you stand in front of me, tears dropping from your eyes, telling me how much you love me and how much you want to spend the rest of my life with me. I want you to put the ring on my finger. I want you to vow before God to love me till death do us part.
Because of how you were raised, right?
Not because of how I raised him, because that's what I want. Despite that, even if I was just watching movies on TV or this or that, I would want to be married. I would want a husband, despite how I was raised, because my parents got a divorce. I could say I don't want to fucking marry nobody because my parents didn't work out. But in my heart, what I feel true to me is that despite those downfalls in those relationships, despite they don't talk to each other to this day, I still want to try it out for myself, despite seeing how fucking terribly it ended.
And what do you, in your eyes, what do you feel being married changes in your relationship? What aspect?
I feel like I don't think that it necessarily changes anything, but that's just what I want, and I don't see why there's a problem with me wanting something.
Okay. Like they said, that's a topic for a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand the debate. Why does there?
I'm not debating with you. I told you I came to my.
I feel like you can talk me into the ground about it. It's not going to change how I feel. So there is no need to even go any further into it.
Nobody's going further. I said that could be a whole nother topic on a whole nother thing.
I don't understand the topic.
I came to my conclusion on what it is.
I don't understand the extension.
There is an extension to that.
What's the extension? I don't
get the fact
that some people don't want to get married and some do.
No, not even that.
So people should just automatically agree on it.
No, it's not. Nobody has to agree on anything in life.
Okay, yeah. So, but I feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody and it's going on for so long and you're not getting what you see out of that relationship, then why still be in it? If the end goal isn't the same, why still be in it?
No, because my thing is. Like,
if you don't want the same resolve, why are we walking this road?
It's not about the same. It's not about the same resolve, Amber.
It's aimless. It's aimless. You have no direction.
It's not about the same.
If we don't want the same end goal, I don't get it.
The end goal could be, I want to be in a healthy, good relationship. But the thing is, okay, marriage is nothing but the word marriage. I don't think that's the part that I'm trying to say.
But I think
No. We're not doing that.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, let's not even go into this. This is a whole.
You say marriage is just the word marriage. Okay, marriage can be anything. It can be surrounded by whatever you want it to be surrounded by. If I want it, I want it.
You gotta answer your own question. So, like, at what point?
Because you gotta re-answer yours. You didn't really do it now.
Who, me?
Say, yeah,
you gotta redo it because you didn't record it.
How long is too long to be dating?
It's no such thing as too long. I feel once it depends on, like I said before earlier, it's nothing I won't do for Amber, and I feel like once you're in that predicament, if you feel like you really love that girl and she's like, I want to get married, boom. Because whether you say, marriage is not important, because marriage to me is not gonna make me love Amber more, make me feel more tied to Amber at all. Marriage, that's a dub. People get divorced and everything every day. So marriage obviously doesn't tighten the bond. The bond is already there. But if she feels like for how she was raised and shit, I'll have the patience to let her realize down the line, okay, that didn't make me love you any differently, or that didn't make us be. I already know that now. Please let me finish talking. Please let me finish talking. Please.
But you're speaking for me.
All right. Yeah. And you guys, that's the episode for today because Amber's not letting me finish what I want to say. So let's do our outros.
You're speaking for me. But you're not.
Once again, okay, she's talking for me.
Like, I love you the same.
Real quick, everybody get 15 to 20 seconds to answer real quick. How do you guys feel about girls that are strippers and on OnlyFans? Would you date somebody doing one of those things?
Huh?
Would I date a stripper?
Yeah, would you date somebody doing any of those things?
Date anybody who works at Swinging Richards.
I want to mention something really quick. I said I was going to mention this.
Did you answer the first question? Answer this.
I did. I said I agree with Bree. make your money. I mean, so that has.
Would you date somebody that's a stripper? Would you date somebody that's OnlyFans or a stripper?
I wouldn't date a stripper. I don't like, no.
What about OnlyFans?
Like male strippers, no.
What about OnlyFans? So just having sex online?
Can I answer? Can I answer?
That's not my preference, but, if they want to do that, they can meet
somebody. But what if they're not having sex, though? What if they just, showing off their body and girls is paying? Because that's what girls do on OnlyFans. They're not doing shit, but posting the shit they'll post on Instagram on OnlyFans.
I think that would make me uncomfortable. I don't think that that's something that I would say, like, yes, I'm I'm here for it, but I think it's also a different scenario when you go into a relationship and that's something that they were already doing. Like if you were to wake up tomorrow and say I want to make an OnlyFans, I'm doing what?
I wanted to cover this really quick because a viewer requested it and they wanted to know.
Wait, can I answer the question?
From a male perspective.
Or no? Okay. Fuck me.
Oh, you didn't answer. Wait, you didn't answer?
Go on there.
I didn't know you. Aaron, stop it.
Well, fuck me.
No, that's not funny. You can't relax.
That's funny.
No, it's not. That's not.
You
funny.
answered it. Like I don't understand.
Wait, what was my answer, Amber? I didn't answer it, but go ahead, Amber.
Because you started to say, I just can't wait till we get along down the road. And Amber, you finally say
Amber,
that
go. Say what you want to say.
loving, getting married didn't change how much she felt
She
about
did. He
me.
just asked
I
a question
already
about
know
the. He
getting
just
married don't
asked.
change
He just
nothing.
asked a question about the stripper shit. I didn't answer. But I'm saying you fine. Go ahead with your topic.
Answer the stripper question in the OnlyFans.
No, it's
He's
fine.
so fucking
it's fine.
dramatic.
It's fine. Go ahead. Amber.
If you're dating somebody and it's just like an instant chemistry and they do something in that dating phase of the relationship, like within the first 3 months they cheat, are you able to come back from that? Are you able to revisit that? Even if you guys had very, very strong feelings from each other, should the guy pursue you and chase you after the mistake that he's made? And if he hasn't really taken those steps to really get you back and prove himself, should you continue the relationship?
So this is a question for the women,
Yes.
or like we switching it back and forth? Like,
I guess you can switch gender.
I feel like I want to hear a male's perspective on it. Like if you were dating a girl you really liked and you messed up, you cheated within the first whatever
if I
couple
did?
months of dating.
I say yes.
Like,
She
and
should
then you-
definitely.
hold on, really quickly
Well, the
though.
guys.
Are you
I don't
saying dating
think-
or in a relationship? Because those are two different
Oh
things.
no, they were getting to the point where they were basically at the brink of a relationship. Like they were finna start they were about to become like an item, a couple, and then something fell through, and he tried to prove he could apologize, he did this and that. She wasn't hearing it, and then he just falls back. Do you feel like he should continue to pursue her if it's something that he really wants?
Yeah, if he's not pursuing her, then she should say it's not real.
Well,
They're dating, and he cheated, and she's like trying to curve him, and he's not trying to be like, oh no, I'm sorry. It's a dub. He doesn't care.
Well, first of all, for me, you can't even cheat while you're dating. That's first and foremost.
That was
You can't.
What do you mean you
It's not
can't?
possible. You're dating. We're not.
But
together.
it was a betrayal
that's
of
also
trust.
true.
It
That's
was a
also
betrayal.
true.
He tried to hide it. He tried to cover
Oh,
it
well,
up.
that's
and
a
he
little-
tried to
that's
hide
like
it.
that's yeah.
That's a little
you're
different. It's
being
a conversation.
deceitful.
They always say that's a little different because if you're not being open saying I'm dating other people, then that's a little different.
Yeah.
You're giving off the perception that you're
That you're
exclusively
exclusive.
dating. That's different. Like, you know what I mean? But so like it depends on the conversation that you had prior to. It's different. Like if you didn't have the conversation, there's nothing to apologize for. Like you're dating, you're not
very
together.
true.
You can do whatever you want to do. But if you had a conversation and you guys are like exclusively dating or something, then it's like, all right, well you kind of pretty much
But what if-
together.
What if it really hurt her and you really liked her and you wanted to
Like him?
redeem yourself? Like if the whole label, it wasn't labeled, but you guys were talking, you've been completely transparent the entire time of dating, but all of a sudden you're hiding this.
She should leave him.
But what would you do if that was like you?
I
is what she's
guess
asking.
If it was something that
Oh,
you
if it-
really wanted.
if I wanted
me,
it,
I'm a-
if I
I'm a-
wanted it, I would try to make that work. If it's something that I
Yep,
wanted,
exactly.
like,
What
I'm
if she
not gonna-
blocked you on all social media? What if she blocked you on IG, Facebook?
You
It
pull
de-
up.
and for me,
You gonna-
it's a little different. I think because like 3 months is not enough time for me to act a certain way. Like if you block me on everything, it's kind of like. Personally, it's like I don't know. Like I'm not even like even if we're not blocked, I'm not pulling up at your house just unannounced. Unless it's like I got a surprise for you. I'm not pulling up unannounced. You know, I don't have permission to be there. Especially if you block me. Shit, that's fucking trespassing at that point. You obviously don't want me around. I'm not on no shit like that personally. That's just me. But that has nothing to do with the fact that I don't have feelings for you or anything. But I'm just not. It's not like I wouldn't go to any lengths, but
Are
like
you
it's at the same time.
disrespecting her boundaries?
Yeah, I got boundaries.
would you just
like,
leave it?
I got boundaries. Like I'm not crossing certain lines.
So you just leave her alone? You wouldn't even try to talk to her?
No,
or
I'll give
try
her some
reach
time to
back
maybe
out?
cool off. Maybe she needs some time. Maybe I'll
How
get
long?
unblocked. I don't know, but we only been talking for 3 months. Honestly, like I don't know, bro. Like we only dating for 3 months.
Shit.
I don't know.
3 months, that's a lot of time.
It is, but dating, if you're like, obviously it's not a lot of time. If you had enough time to be fucking somebody else, you weren't like super all the time, all my time anyway.
Or maybe it could be like at that state where you're trying to figure out like if you want to cut somebody off and you decided like it was a little too late, where you're just like, oh man, like I really just like ruined something that was great or something that has potential to like flourish into a beautiful relationship for some ass.
No, that's fine. Like I said, I would like apologize and try to get the point across that like, I wasn't aware, like, or like if I said if you didn't have the conversation, or I wasn't aware that we were only exclusively seeing each other at that time. So I apologize.
But
for
why
that,
would you hide it? Then you're aware. Then if you're hiding it, then you're aware of how she feels, and you're fearful of what may happen if you did something.
Okay, so my thing in general with dating in general, I've never dated anyone and expected them to be only dating me. If we haven't had the conversation of we're only dating each other, in my head I'm already assuming that you're seeing other people.
But I think
I have to.
That's just you.
Yeah, and I can only speak for me. She's asking me. I can only speak for me.
I don't think that's the general like consensus.
I
assume. I'm just assuming that we are dating other people.
Until we have a conversation and you tell me you're not dating anybody else, then I'm just gonna assume that.
I just feel like if you feel the need to hide it, then it's something wrong. Mm-hmm. If you feel the need to hide something from whoever you're communicating with on a daily basis, then you deep down inside you know that you feel like it would be something that would hurt that other person, which is why you're hiding it.
I think if you don't try to reach out to her, he doesn't care.
Yeah, you would definitely try to reach out, but I feel like you closing off all avenues.
But he did initially.
That's what I'm saying. But you closing all avenues means that you don't want it bad enough either to even give him the chance to fix it. You're not allowing him to try to fix it.
No. If you mess up, and you can't even relate to this because you don't mess up.
No, but I'm saying this is different because you're dating. This is not a relationship. The question isn't in a relationship. This is dating. This is not the same thing.
But three months in, and when y'all are basically
a relationship. If you haven't had the conversation of saying you're together, you're not together, bro. What do you mean?
Beyond the whole label part of it, if you are feeling guilty about something that you have done and you're hiding it, that's deceitful. That means that you feel like you're trying to sweep something under the rug, and you know it would hurt the other person. So why do something that would hurt that person that you care about, besides your own just selfishness and just lust?
If he don't chase you, if a nigga not trying to get it,
I wouldn't. When I was dating Drew, I was completely transparent. So if I was gonna go on a date with another guy, or if I was gonna do this, I would tell him. I mean, that's just how I was. That's how I operate. How I would operate. I don't. I feel like I just have. I just have like my empathy for others is extreme. So I could never just sweep something under the rug or sneakily do something. If I feel this strongly about Drew, I would just be completely transparent. I would tell him whether he liked it or not.
So do you feel like the viewer should continue to talk to the guy even though she blocked him and he didn't reach out? Should she say, okay, let me reach back out to him or unblock him? Or should she just keep it moving?
I feel like if she's already tried to give it her best shot and then there was no resolve, or he wasn't trying to come around, he was being prideful, or if he felt like, oh, you should have came back sooner, then just I would let it go.
I feel like she made it hard though by like blocking all avenues of communication.
But
how was he supposed to make that right?
But I also feel as though like there are different reasons why people block.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know the whole aspect, so it's hard for me to say.
It's different if it was just like, oh, I'm upset, I'm gonna block you because I don't want to talk to you, or I'm telling you that I don't want to talk to you right now and I need space, and you continue to like push the envelope and you keep trying to talk to me, and the only way for you to not talk to me is for me to block you.
I think it all depends.
I feel like that's different. If you've blocked out of like necessity, then I would say when you find like your zen, unblock and then see what comes from it. But if you just like automatically blocked him because you were upset, I think you need to kind of, I guess, work through how you handle things first, and then handle you first. And if he's open to still having a conversation, then have a conversation and then just like accept.
Yeah.
And also, I want to say when you unblock, you have to let it be known that you're unblocked. Because if I'm trying to hit you up and I know I'm blocked,
you have to reach out.
How do I know when I'm unblocked? So you got to let me know I'm unblocked.
That means
if you want to give me
it.
the opportunity to try to like fixer or whatever. Like, you can't block me, disrespect. I'm unblocked, and I can now hit you up. Like, if you don't let me know, how am I supposed to know?
Yeah. So I mean, it all just boils down to
So we all conclusively think what she should unblock him, and then send a text like.
I think she should give him a chance
at
least. If you haven't already, if you've given him a chance and you feel like it wasn't up to what you were looking for, then it's like, all right, at that point, whatever. But if you feel like, oh, maybe I didn't give him the real chance to, try to make it up to me, then unblock him and let him know, like, hey, I needed some time or whatever, and now, like, this is your opportunity. Like, you got this chance to try to make it right, and go from there.
Yeah. And fellow viewers watching, if you're ever in this predicament, and it's with a woman that had the 3 things that I said last time that you really want, and she blocks you, you download. They got a text me app. You download every different app and you get different numbers and you try to connect with her.
Sometimes it's considered stalking.
That could come off wrong.
You stalk her.
That could come off wrong.
You stalk her.
No, don't do that.
You stalk her.
You'll go to jail.
Like I'm cool.
Stalk her.
If it's done, it's done. Okay.
Stalk her.
Everything's been exhausted.
Okay, stalk her.
Don't stalk her.
Okay.
Don't stalk her because then the police gonna be showing up to your house saying that you got a restraining order.
Fuck the police.
You can't go around the restraining order. That's the ultimate block.
Y'all know Drew likes a good
The
argument.
restraining order
Fuck
is
the
the
police.
ultimate block.
I'm telling you from personal experience. If they say they want their time, okay, you get 40 minutes.
Oh my God.
And then I'm right back at it. Oh, I still need more time. Okay, you get an hour and a half. And then you just like.
He's so funny, y'all.
Am I lying, Amber?
He's hilarious.
Am I lying though?
He's funny.
I'm not lying. Now I give her a time because it's locked in now. But in the beginning stages, where I might have fucked up or did some stupid shit, and she's like, "Oh, I need space." You give them enough space, but you don't give them too much space. You feel me, fellas? So like, and just I leave it at that. You don't give them too much space. Dog.
All right. So that was pretty much it for this episode. This was interesting, I guess.
Comment, subscribe, like
I want to hear more feedback from you guys.
Like it,
And if you guys don't want to actually watch on YouTube, we have Spotify and Apple in the links.
We're
Hit
on
up the
there.
links.
Factual.
But yeah, so this was cool.
We're live.
And we will see you guys.
Anything you want to talk, give the
most part.
Any topics and all that stuff.
All right, guys.
Yeah, there's nothing pretty much off limits.
Until next time.
Bye, y'all.
Nothing. It's a safe place.
Needs to establish boundaries, but okay.